I hope it started with that meow, that loud meow from Bruce. It is Wednesday, my dudes, which means it's time for some more Dungeons and Dragons. It is November the 10th, 2021, session number 4. Apologies in advance for the amount of chaos that there's going to be tonight. We are under a little bit of an odd situation. Last week, we were all in the same time zone. This week, we are in 4 different time zones. For Lindsay, it is 3 p.m. For Robin and myself, it is 6 p.m. For Maddie, it is 5 p.m. And for Russ, it is 8 p.m. So, understandably, this was a little bit of a Herculean effort to get everybody situated. So we're going to be a little bit shorter this evening for the sake of Russ's circadian rhythm. But I think we should still be able to put on something decent for us here. So, how's everybody doing?
We're back.
We're good?
So good.
Ah.
Yeah, that about sums it up.
Yeah.
I neglected to press the record button. I neglected to press the record button. Remember when I said I was going to do it?
Yeah.
And I didn't. But here we are.
Good job.
4 different time zones, everybody.
Pure, unadulterated chaos.
Pure, unadulterated chaos. Last time, you guys got to the Holy Triumvirate, which is this big-ass camp of followers of the powers that be on the island of Thravatn in the Ladder, which is sort of the de facto place of worship for those guys. You were welcomed with open arms, and it was a nice little spot there that you guys found for yourselves, and everybody went around and paid tribute to the various saints of the various powers that they felt the most association with. Even Celeste and Julia were able to sort of get in on that action. Cinder and Rook learned a little bit more about the situation with Rusty, who was the most recently canonized saint of the powers, a warforged individual. Millicent got into an altercation with a stranger, and then you guys found some plants, tried to get Millie to eat some vegetables unsuccessfully, and then took on a job from the mayor, as he is known, the head of worship for the master, who asked you guys to look into a bandit issue, which you did. And you found them and deleted them and then came back and brought the things that they had stolen. He paid you guys for that and was very grateful for the assistance. And you began your southward journey to the Gridliner dock, down on the southern edge of the island there. In the midst of a rather violent storm that you guys found yourselves in, which proceeded to get worse, and then get even more worser. So that was fun. You guys made it to the dock and made the journey across to the island of Holteyla, one of the largest of the Ladder, if not the largest. You saw some spooky white and blue dragons up in the sky in the middle of this torrential thunderstorm, and that was spooky. And then you guys made landfall, and found yourselves on the banks of the Northflow River, where you spoke to some of the attendants at the Gridliner dock, who said basically the main way to travel up this river is with sailboats. So you grabbed a couple of those and are now beginning your journey southward and up the river in the middle of some rather nasty rain. Let me see. Calendar here. Alright. So you guys kind of got in around noon. So you could ostensibly continue traveling for a bit today if you so desired. It's not an especially restful environment, but you could also try and stop to rest if you're so inclined.
Would we like to head to what is it? Saint Karzir? Karzir? like to head there, or just go straight past it, head down the river as fast as we can.
I really think that's going to be based on how well our first part of the journey will go.
Yeah.
That's fair. Let's see what it ends up happening by the time we get to the lake.
Yeah, I think that'd be wise.
All right. Well, I guess 2 boats. Let's
Yeah.
get rowing.
Right, upstream. I had briefly forgot about that. Oh god.
How strong are you all?
I am pretty strong, I would like to say so myself.
I'd like to say that as well, Millicent.
Yeah, I
Cinder?
would agree with that. You're pretty.
Cinder, Celeste? I'm
Mm,
more nimble then.
My strength lies in my smarts.
Cinder, would you like to row the other boat?
I think that I would do just about as well as you.
You do have more boat experience. That's got to count for something, yeah.
Yeah, it's got to count for something.
Yes, I suppose.
Those guys said that worst case scenario, the journey to the lake take about 6 days, but if
Oh
we could
my
perhaps
God.
get some wind on our side, then it might take less time.
I would pray that we will, because 6 days of rowing.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
I think perhaps we all will be rowing.
Well, yes, of course.
yeah.
It'd take shifts.
You guys can see this, the northern tip of the island here has this river delta that kind of is flowing out and then flowing off over the edge here. But as they all kind of converge, which you can see up ahead a ways, the river's pretty wide up there, like at least a mile.
I suppose we have anything to protect us during the nighttime. They did say that the woods hold some manner of creatures. What as it is.
Should the waters actually be better if we try to rest there, it may not wake up where we started our rest.
I hate the sound of
We,
that.
we should, yeah, I mean, we could, I guess, maybe tie them to something.
Yeah, I have rope.
Yes.
You guys can see these boats are not large. They can comfortably fit, I would say, 4 normally sized individuals. So you reckon the one with your large wood friend might need to be one that has perhaps 2, and then the other one could have 3.
Right. Millicent, I'm coming with you.
Okay.
Okay. Damn it.
Sounds
I
good.
have guidance at least, so maybe that'll help. Oh, it won't. It really won't.
I'll go with Rook and Millicent.
All right. Have fun.
Oh dear.
And you two can be the navigators and go ahead.
Yes.
Although it shouldn't really require that much navigating.
Yeah,
It's a river.
Yes, but it is
on the
rather
map,
wide.
it looks pretty straightforward.
It is rather wide though. So
All right. Well, let's get going then. Do we have anything else we need to prep for? I think we're just kind of have to really
Then we just
set
gotta
this
start.
up. Yeah.
Yeah.
I suppose I could try and get some full immersion. Get you some rain. What do you think?
Oh, snap.
That'd be crazy.
Oh, I just don't want to hear like
So
a random
real.
YouTube ad showing up. But there we go.
Oh.
Like we're really there.
Wow.
That was better. There we go.
Ooh,
Oh,
there
yeah.
we go.
Aggressive rain.
Yeah.
Chris.
So you guys damply head over to the this row of sailboats that they have kind of set up here for you guys. You can grab a couple of them and begin your journey here. Somebody can roll a d8 for me.
I'll do it. Yeah.
All right, right now the wind is blowing southward.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
you do have a slightly westerly direction that you're going to need to be going for the first chunk of today.
No worries,
Right.
Millicent. I'll take up the oars for this time.
But you can kind of tack with the wind there.
Are you sure?
Oh yeah. Sorry. Sorry, DM, to interrupt.
Oh no, that's fine.
Okay.
You're good. You can use the sail for most of this part of the trek. You're kind of heading. It's kind of rough to do the arrows on this, but you're in that general area of the map.
Ah, I see.
Oh, it is. I see.
So you do have some western travel that you need to make before you start going south.
Right.
But the wind does assist, and you are able to just kind of, tack and change your angle and
How
use it.
A poor sense of scale. How big is this island? Like this little. I
Each
can't remember, this
each
small.
square is 132 miles.
So ostensibly, we're on the river heading west from this gridliner dock, and at that point, the crossover point there, could we just haul the boats this I don't know, quarter mile it looks like down to the straight portion of the thing and just head south instead of having to
That's
paddle
not
against the wind?
That's more like 20 miles.
My
Each-
scale is.
Each square is 132 miles.
Oh yeah, no, never mind. Nope. Paddle
It's
boys.
big.
It's paddle time.
It's big river.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and just because the wind is not blowing directly against you, so you are able to make use of it and set the sail correctly. I would say Cinder would be the one who could sort of demonstrate how that works, because he has some boat experience, which is to say any at all, which would be more than any of you have.
Yep. Sure is.
Boats.
Julia just kind of like yelling over the rain. I've done this a little bit, but I do not. What direction do I have to set this?
Kind of haul on mine to show her. Or I guess I'm in the boat with her, aren't I?
I think
No,
you're
she's
with
with
Celeste.
us.
She's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, it's me and Rose.
Haul on mine and just show her how I did it.
See how well she. It's okay. Yeah, she's kinda getting
Try to explain it, but mostly just by showing because I don't really understand it. I just do it.
You guys will not have to row.
Right.
Cinder and Celeste will not have to row. The other boat will need to do a little bit of rowing to keep up with them. But as Julia is just kind of like, yeah, doing her best. But you make decent time, and I would say you make it to that crossroads by the end of your day of traveling here, which is about a half a day of travel. And kind of that confluence of all of the various offshoots of the river, and you can kind of, as it gets pretty dark out here, kind of haul the boats ashore. Pretty muddy and grassy. You're a good bit away from the tree line, but you can certainly see this oppressive forest looming. And you really can't see much beyond it. You can see that most of the forest is not flat, so there are lots of kind of rolling hills and parts of trees. That what distance you are able to see is just lots and lots of tree. Do we have any way to make this rest not lead to nightmare?
We have tents. And that's it, so no.
Right.
Yeah, I do not have anything that could help us with that. As
guys
much
just
as I
kind
would
of
have liked.
miserably kind of walk around for a bit trying to find a spot of ground that's not entirely muddy. You do find a little kind of pad of stone that you can set up on a good maybe quarter-mile away from the riverbank. Are we concerned about somebody stealing our boats?
I think it'd be good for people to go on watch.
Yeah,
I'm not sure about stealing, but maybe the boats get kind of
Oh,
thrown away or
we
something.
lost Lindsay.
Technical difficulties begin, and it wasn't even me.
Yeah.
What happened?
Sorry, I really don't know. Let me turn it back.
Oh, how to... Everything's gonna look
I'm
like
turning-
dog shit for a second here.
Oh, I switched over to the stream. I see.
Yeah, hold up.
Good
Can
lord.
you please turn off?
We
yeah.
looked so professional in our first couple sessions of doing it. Now you get to see the strings that hold it
Here's my
together.
internet. It might be me that has the internet problems.
Oh.
Yay.
We'll see. Like I said, this was gonna be unmitigated chaos.
Don't worry, it can be both.
Yep. I was like, why don't I hear anything? Oh no, it's me. I'm
Alright,
the
so,
fallen child.
obviously, you can't really make a fire or anything, so you're gonna be pretty much sitting in the dark.
Can I, just out of curiosity, I have mold earth, and it specifically says, like, making patterns or difficult terrain last an hour, but one of its effects is instantaneously moving just a little bit of dirt around. That one doesn't have a duration. Could I do that to kind of more quickly, like, Minecraft us something? Just 5-foot chunks
Yeah,
and...
go ahead and make a survival check.
No, what are you doing? What are
He
rocks
just starts earthbending over here.
Just-
Yeah, okay. I would say you can... What's that cast? Like an action?
yeah, one action.
Alright, I would say you can spend like 10 minutes, and over the course of this time, you see, as you guys kind of haul the boats over to where you guys are going to stay, Cinder just kind of pulls up dirt and earth and rocks and kind of forms it into this mud, like, half dome. It's not especially deep, but it will fit the 5 of you.
And can I put like a little hole in the top so that there could be an air hole and actually make a fire?
Yeah, I would say you could do that.
It doesn't look great, but it should be a little better than the tents, actually.
Yeah,
Try to
I
go
suppose,
Find
yes.
some wood, I guess.
Really want to go chop down some wood?
Yeah, I can do that. It's like,
Go ahead and make a
We'll
survival
find
check
a
for me.
I'll come with.
Yeah, you can do it with help.
yeah. I'm not horrible at that. God, when I roll like that, though.
Alright, you
Oh.
spend... I would say you guys see Rook and Millicent wander off towards the woods.
Yes.
And about an hour later, they finally walk back, and she's just hauling a whole tree.
Oh, I couldn't find anything smaller.
So what?
So
Basically, you guys looked around for some scrap wood, couldn't find anything. Millicent got impatient and just started chopping down a tree. And while she was doing that, you guys forgot where the camp was. And Rook, you kind of left her there for a bit and tried to remember where the hell the dome was. And then she finished chopping down the tree and couldn't find you. And then you yelled for each other for a bit before finally meeting back up. And then you spent some time trying to find the thing. And it was just a little comedy of errors that you guys went off and had.
Yeah.
But what I say is,
Yep.
sorry, we couldn't find any wood, so the tree had to come down. Took a little bit.
There's an entire forest, but
Now we have more
There
than
are-
enough
It's
wood.
hard to find just like little scraps, you know?
why not just chop a tree that was
You
perfect?
see,
I don't-
while you guys were
We
gone,
didn't know it ended up like that.
Julia has built like a little teepee out of like twigs and grass, and it's just basically putting off a bunch of smoke because it's wet. But
wait,
Millie comes back and just starts chopping up this wood into smaller pieces and just throwing it. And before long, you have a fire. It's probably about like 11 o'clock by the time you are able to get it comfortably set up, but
if we're short resting, I'll just summon the spirit and have him just sit in it and just calcifer the fire into existence.
This is all I'm good for. Okay, fine. He just sits
We
there.
appreciate your service.
Just,
Why
like,
are you
crosses
upset
his
about it? This is literally the first time I've had you do this.
It's
Is there any-
weird.
It's not that different from when you do it to people.
No, I know.
Is there anything that makes the little fire spirit happy?
Was that more wood?
Eggshells, perhaps?
What?
Here's more wood. And I
Just
start
kind of
cutting
like splashes
through.
out into the wood and just kind of sits there burning. Seems rather fickle.
Indeed.
I do not really understand him, but I don't think I'm supposed to.
He lives in you. I kind of hope you understood him a bit.
I don't think it's so much as he lives in me as he is why I live.
Whoa.
That's deeply
Whoa.
concerning.
Yeah.
Oh.
What does that mean?
Really laid it all out there, did you?
It is the difference between us and the normal Warforged, which I'm sure you've been able to see, as I am
So you do
this.
They do have some kind of magical heart thing, so I suppose it's kind of a similar deal.
That is what I was here to learn about.
I have not seen any that can remove it.
Yes, I am
No.
still to understand that this is different, and the process is different. But I'm hoping to learn more about the original process. So,
Are there others like you down below that have fire spirits and stuff?
yes, some fire, some others. I was the most attuned to mine. The others couldn't usually manifest them quite as well, or
Huh.
have them speak to people.
We're more evolved.
Well, do we plan on taking watches?
We probably should.
So that is probably
we
a good
should.
idea, yeah. There are like bears and stuff in the woods.
Great.
Alright, well, who would want to go first? And also, who was good at singing again? I think it was me and Cinder for the most part.
For the most part.
Pretty much exclusively.
Yeah, that checks out. Okay.
I
well,
am fine at it.
Yeah. I'm just okay.
I am
You instill us with such confidence. you
very
think.
good.
You three.
So
Well-
maybe separate some. Well, you don't have to sleep, right? Like you could just watch the whole time, or do you need to like?
That's what I've been doing, but it seems to make people more comfortable when they think I'm asleep.
Well, now that we know you're not, perhaps we should take advantage of it.
If we're good at singing, then maybe you just watch the whole time.
It would be good to have at least one other person for parts of it. I can't see
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
I'm decent, but I'm not.
Right. Well, the 5 of us will just
Infallible.
take turns with you then. The 4 of us
Yeah,
will just
yeah.
take turns with you.
Yes,
2-hour shifts.
sounds good to me.
Yep, that works for me.
Reread Century's Rest to make sure, but I think that it's basically true.
I believe so.
Yeah. You must spend 6 hours inactive, motionless, rather than sleeping. In this state, you appear inert, but doesn't render you unconscious, and you can see and hear as well. So,
Wow.
All right. Well, I'm just gonna have you make an overall perception check with advantage for the night then.
okay. Instead of rolling a shitload of them.
Yeah, it seems unnecessary.
Well,
Oh. Oh, nice.
So
You
good.
see very clearly that nothing is bothering you this night.
You see all.
it is wet. Whatever bears are in the forest are not interested in leaving the forest in the wet.
I would say around 4 a.m. ish. You get there's this spell of lots and lots of thunder and lightning overhead, and you kind of get this sense of wanderlust for a moment, and kind of walk outside of the dome and just kind of stand there in the rain, looking up at the lightning streaking across the clouds. It's oddly calming to you, and reminds you a little bit of some of the more fierce storms that you would have back home, but without as much of a sense of danger. It's almost like a frightening blanket over the top of this whole island here. Like, it's an odd natural sensation, but you're starting to get a little bit more acquainted with this land, and the fact that it's this way all the time. But the evening is uneventful, and you guys get a rather uncomfortable but serviceable short rest here under your dome of earth. If anybody has any hit dice they would like to use.
I have one. I would very much not like to use it.
I'm gonna save it.
Hey.
If anybody is hurt enough to warrant, but doesn't want to use a hit dice, I can have the healer's kit. Keep offering it. I'm still sitting on that thing.
No, let's just save it. Not too bad.
It gets 10 uses, so.
You guys can leave your little makeshift hut and drag the boats back to the river. Somebody can roll a d8 for me.
I'll do it.
Yeah.
Oh, you have favorable wind today. It's going basically exactly the direction you'd want.
Nice.
You can throw your boats into the river and make some solid progress. I'm just going to say anybody who wants to can go ahead and do a survival check to sort of participate in boat handling. I would say, Cinder, you could do it with advantage.
Could I also give Cinder guidance?
Mm-hmm.
I would do that.
Wow.
Damn.
Yeah.
97.
Jeez.
So that's my third 20. 'Cause the pre-session roll was also a 20.
Okay. Our boat's okay.
Julia got a fat
do it
6.
'cause
But yeah, you guys are about on par. It's pretty. It's there's not too much effort involved today. You pretty much just set the sail, make sure it's not going wonky, and make sure that your course is true. With the cloud cover, it's pretty difficult to do much in the way of navigating by the sun or anything like that. But you can see the shores in the distance on throughout most of the day. There is a little bit of fog here and there, but you get a solid day of travel in. You are pretty much unperturbed. And you make it to about that bend. Just kind of passing by pretty much identical terrain on either side whenever you're able to make out the terrain. You stay kind of close to the eastern shore, and there's just lots and lots of forest. Tall, looks like mostly pine or oak. And or.
You said bend. Is it like here-ish?
Yep,
Okay.
about where you make it. So you make decent time today. You are still traveling upriver, so the current is against you, but doesn't matter too much for that. You can repeat your camp making procedure and pull the boats in and make your little dome,
Right, Millicent,
Mm,
time to go look for more wood.
Hang on. I'm
It's
just
my
gonna,
time.
What? What's wrong?
I'm just
What?
gonna look between the two and just give Millicent a pat on the shoulder and give her guidance.
Okay.
Dude didn't save any from the whole
Thanks.
tree that you brought down yesterday?
No, we didn't bring that.
It's too much to carry.
Just try to find one that's already on the ground, or maybe not the
I
whole tree.
tried.
Of course.
You can't trust us.
There we go.
No, I
There you
trust
go.
you.
And then was it
Right
They
there.
just
for
kind of
guidance?
wander off, bantering with each other as you just kind of like.
Great.
You see Julia just kind of holding her knees to her chest and sitting under this dome of dirt.
Are you quite all right?
It is just very cold. I was not expecting this much rain.
Well, that's
I have heard that that's what it's like here. I just, guess I didn't realize just the extent.
Well, it should be better with fire once they return.
yeah. I know you wanted to get out of Godshold fast, but like, are you prepped for the weather for your desired location? Like, that,
Oh,
as
it
far
is-
as I recall.
Dry,
Okay.
hot, for the most part. I should be fine. I will have enough money to get some supplies and things that I need in town, I think. Get there.
I would be curious to see it.
I'm kind of curious to see it myself. I've only seen illustrations of it in like historical texts and such.
So far, everywhere we've been has been so drastically different from what I'm used to down below. And it sounds like this shall be different again.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, that's true for a lot of the regions up in this land. But I'm not surprised it's far different from what you're used to, Cinder, considering down below is, from what I
Mostly
understand,
water.
far, yeah, well, water and also just incredibly tumultuous, like, weather.
That's the water, mostly.
Oh. That's fair.
That is most of the climate or terrain, I guess you would say, would be those parts of the ocean. That's kind of it.
What about the place you're originally from? The one place with your, well, your elder and relatives, or however you described it.
It's an island, but pretty far from what the rest of the depths, as people think of it. Most people only think of the part right around Rise, or Spindrift if they know it's there, and that's it.
Well,
my
is there
home
anything-
is also very different. Lots of Zeltenbach is very industrialized now. Verberg is lots of roads and tall buildings and buildings on top of each other, and snaking through hills and valleys, just endless sprawl of buildings, people.
That sounds strange to me.
Felt strange to me too.
Mostly used to things at least somewhat making sense with their environment. Here it is rainy and the people adapt to it and live with it. To have bent the land to their will sounds a bit crazy to me, but so far every description of Seltenbrock has sounded progressively more crazy to me.
It is a very interesting place. My family has changed it a lot over the last half a century or so. Especially around Drexler. Cloud of steam and smoke constantly settled over it.
Was that entirely healthy for the people that live there?
Oh no, not at all.
That's what I thought. Okay.
That's where they make the Warforged.
What's this?
I don't know. I know you want to find more about the Warforged and about what they are and their nature and how they're made. I would caution you. The search for knowledge is a just calling, but there are a lot of people who sooner not have details of that made public.
I have been warned previously to not go there, which is why I came up in search of Rusty to hopefully answer those questions. Now that I know he is no longer with us, I kind of have to hope that you can answer as much as I can ask and then determine what to do from there.
I can tell you
I know.
some. I will tell you what I know now. I'm not concerned about your, either of you imminently betraying me. My concerns lie mostly with Rook, but...
Yeah, that checks.
And not for any fault of his own, I just, he's from Seltenbrock, so I don't trust him. But, what I can tell you is that it is, the creation of the Warforged is innately tied to the lattice and the conflux point that Drexler is atop.
That one specifically, or could what
think-
is done there be done on a different point?
I don't know. It is a very powerful secondary point. I don't know if it could be replicated on another secondary point or not. I don't think anybody has really tried. But they have an enormous forge that is sort of built around it and siphons energy from it. And I don't know exactly what the process is. I visited it once when I was a girl, and it was essentially cobbling together lots of disparate parts and lots of artificers and mages and men of science putting things together and sending them into this through this assembly line, and one of the phases of this drew an immense amount of power from the conflux point and imbued the creation with well, I don't know if it's life or if it's just animation or something. It's apparently something rather strange happened there when the surge happened 23 years ago. I don't know what. Nobody will really tell me, but they have taken a lot of measures to prevent something like that from happening again, I think. Whatever it was. I sense it was something rather bad.
I think that might depend on who you ask. According to your family, yes, it probably was bad. According to Rusty, probably not.
Well, whatever it was, it caused a great deal of consternation for everybody who worked there, and sent things into a bit of a state of upheaval. I don't know if what is happening now to the Warforged is correlated or not. I mean, it seems clear to me that it has something to do with the surge, considering it started happening right afterwards, but I don't know if it has something to do with what happened at Drexler specifically, or if it is just something else.
By what's happening now, you mean other ones awakening?
Yeah. It didn't start happening until the surge. At least, that's what the official records all say.
Would
To
I
my
have
knowledge,
any?
it didn't start in Drexler, it started in Farberg.
It could be, yeah.
I don't know anything of that place, but that's where Rusty's from.
That's where I'm from. But it is an enormous place. And let's just say information on what is happening with the Warforged now is kept pretty tightly sealed.
So,
So I know that they said that it was like information on what happened with the surge is super suppressed, but like, would have any information like reached like God's Hold when the surge happened on?
Well, I mean, it happened everywhere, so you're
Yeah.
certainly familiar with it. The exact effects and repercussions of it differ from place to place. You would have heard a good bit of what happened in Zeltenbrock and in God's Hold, sure.
Yeah, I was like, if there's anything, if there was something notable, or would any of the information about like Drexler would have got out, or was it just suppressed that badly?
Make a history check.
Okay.
You heard about a number of explosions and about a lot of it seems a good number of people who they would rather have not had them leave left. Like a lot of people who worked there, or a lot of people who were sort of forced to work there by their different circumstances, stopped working there after that event.
Ah.
You see Rook and Millicent return with pieces of wood and not a whole tree this time.
Yeah.
If there was anything you guys wanted to talk about while you were out tree hunting.
Some branches. Listen, go ahead.
Like, oh, here's a pretty good stuff. Yes.
Yes, there we go.
Yeah.
So I've been dabbling with a few things. I know I said I wouldn't call you the other name that you didn't like being called.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a shortened version of your name I could use for some inspirational purposes?
You know what? I didn't think that far ahead. You know what? You can pick just as long as you don't use that specific name. It's gotta sound cool though.
Of course, yes.
Yeah, but
All right,
no,
I'll brainstorm. Yes.
yeah, we can brainstorm that. Just not that name.
Okay, you got it. Yes. So yeah, I don't think it's any secret that you don't really want to go back down south. We're only going to be there for that short amount of time. Did you want like a disguise or something while we're in Tanagra?
Mm,
Do you think people will recognize you there?
I don't think so. I think Tanagra will be okay.
Be
It's
fine?
more, yeah. It's kind of hard when family kind of travels around, and I don't really know where they will be in that point of time. I don't think they'll be in Tanagra, so that's why I think it's okay. But if we're gonna go to the mountains, I don't really know how else to hide, and I just like show off like the diamonds.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna hope that I can avoid running into them. That's who I'm just trying to avoid.
Right.
I
I don't
feel
think we
like-
need to go to the mountains.
Well, I think Cinder wanted to, and pretty dangerous.
I'll tell you what. Maybe you and I try to postpone that as much as we can with this group. And in the
I would like
meantime, I will try to make you a potion that can make you look different.
Ooh, okay, yeah. I think that'd be cool.
It'll have to be me inventing it by myself, but I will try.
I can try to help you. I don't know. I can't really do much, but
Oh, I could use an assistant from time to time, yes.
yeah.
Which maybe in return as well, I would like to learn how to use. I don't know if you know how to use this or not. It seems pretty simple, but like a blowgun.
Millicent,
I
you
mean-
recall a few times training with weapons like that while you were wandering
Yeah.
around the deserts.
Okay.
It was
Okay.
helpful for hunting small creatures
Okay.
that roamed.
Okay. I mean, it's not my preferred choice, but I've used it a couple of times. I can try to teach you that.
Right? I'll need to buy one first, but I guess
Yeah.
buy a pair.
Yeah, we could try it out, and I could show you what I know.
Right. Be a lovely, lovely bonding moment. The both
Yeah.
of us.
I like it.
You learn
I
how
like
to
that.
make potions, and I can learn how to shoot people with darts.
I like that.
All
That sounds
right.
like fun.
I'll carry this branch.
And I just grab the rest. Like,
Picks up like
Yeah.
this really tiny like twig.
yeah, exactly.
You guys return to the camp.
Yeah.
Make your fire.
Hello. We
Ah.
did not chop down the tree this time.
Look, wood.
Look, it's like
Oh,
take your pick.
He is mine.
I see.
Looks
Well,
much more manageable than yesterday.
yeah. Let's go with that.
Guys, get your fire. And repeat your watch process from the previous evening.
Yeah.
Could I also get a guidance from Celeste on one of the watches?
Sure. You could just add it to your overall check. I'm just like,
Yeah.
Wow.
Good. Nice.
Alright, so your resting spot for this evening is actually pretty close to the riverbank. And, Cinder, you're just kind of looking out, keeping an eye on the periphery and watching as the night kind of wears on. At a certain point late in the evening, the rain lets up for a little bit, and you kind of see out on the river, maybe 30 or 40 feet away, it's kind of what looks like a little piece of driftwood just floating by. But you see it kind of like then splits into two pieces of driftwood. Then you can see it's like two little otters just floating by.
Oh.
And then you see this shape kind of come up from the water and just. And there are no more otters.
I do not tell Millicent.
Yeah, let me see who was on watch with you at the time when that happens.
I witnessed fuzzy woodland
No, that'd be
creatures
great.
die. Are you
Rook.
happy?
Oh.
Rook is
yeah.
on watch with you at this time.
Okay. That'd be pretty funny.
Rook,
Ah!
Rook
Yeah, just sit in. Yeah.
point to them as they're floating. Munch.
Well, look at. Oh.
Just kind of look at you. We don't tell the others.
No, of course not.
Okay. But now we
You
have to.
fucked up.
But now we have to travel knowing that whatever the hell that is exists under the boat.
Great. I love the water.
Alright, your evening of otter death passes. And you guys get another short rest.
I am ready for crocodile.
Oh, otter deaths.
Crikey. Somebody can roll a d8 for the wins
Fuck.
today.
I will do it. Yeah.
It's not good.
Oh,
You are
Robin.
not going to be able to make
Never
use
is when I
of
roll.
the sandals today. You guys just feel
Probably
this.
don't let Robin roll things.
It's
like-
Icewind Dale all over again.
You feel
Yeah.
these
Oh, yeah.
gale force winds just blowing in your faces as you kind of get the boats in. Sploosh.
oh.
Okay, we're rowing today.
So let's take the lead.
Okay. Go.
Oh god.
Try to row as hard as I can.
I'm sure you'll both be fine.
Sunshine.
All right, you guys begin your rowing journey here. And it's not very nice. The wind is blowing in your face. The rain is blowing in your face, and you just kind of are making your way as best as you can. At one point, Julia almost loses her oar, and you're just kind of able to steady her and just kind of hold her there for a second. The Cinder and Celeste boat, you guys are just kind of stoically making your way. The other boat is sort of chattering with each other and kind of fucking about, and you guys are just kind of making your way, and then you just feel this. You feel this beneath you.
Yeah, I would be keeping an eye on the water as much as I am able while rowing after
Make a
what I saw
perception
last
check
night,
for me.
because I am frightened of what is below.
Kind of tough, but you definitely feel this. And you're just kind of like, and then after another bit, this, and you see up in front of your boat where you're facing, so it's behind Celeste. You just see this head come out of the water. It looks like a dinosaur. This sort of reptilian, scaly head just kind of look at you, and then just kind of launch your boat. Kind of brings you to a halt. You guys see this other boat ahead of you just kind of stop for a second. You're like, what the? And this other form underneath you just kind of splashes up out of the water as you see these two plesiosaurs.
Oh no.
Dinosaur ahoy!
I'll just go ahead and
I hate that you're correct.
get you guys on here really quick.
What is this?
Is that what's in the forest? Are there dinosaurs in the forest? Is that what we're dealing with?
Well, in the river at least.
I don't like this.
Yes.
I mean, we did see dragons in the sky a day ago. Weird, whatever.
Yeah.
I've
Wow.
never
Oh,
seen
gee.
dinosaurs, and for some reason I want to. Oh wow, that is a very dynamic map. I like it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Look,
If you zoom in,
dinosaurs.
Ah.
Ah.
Do we have any idea how deep the river is, or just very?
Yes, deep.
Okay.
Nice.
Oh.
All right. This dinosaur is El Fursto. He's gonna come around
Your dinosaur.
for a munch on Celeste. As you just kind of crane your neck and you see this this head, this Loch Ness monster head, just kind of rear up out of the water and go for a crunch.
no. Ah,
And you just kind of like, yeah, you hold your spear out and it just kind of around your spear
No.
before it
No,
dives
no.
back under.
I don't like that.
Julia is like, what are we doing?
Attack!
Oh, okay.
Don't get eaten!
Pulls out her rapier and makes an attack.
Oh god!
Aha! I've done it. It's kind of like
Go let
Good.
us get off!
stabs it in the neck. Ah! Look, I did it. I used the sword.
Excellent strike!
Ah! And it's gonna bite her back.
No.
Oh shit!
Excellent strike!
Oh,
She's
no.
about to get fucking ate.
Oh no, Julia!
It just like
Oh!
bites her on the torso, and she just immediately falls back away from it onto the deck of the ship, on the deck of the boat here. Immediately unconscious.
Whose bright idea was it to put both healers in one boat?
Oh, yeah.
It was Julius.
No, we're not smart. Yeah, I was like, I'm not smart. I'm not gonna take responsibility for that.
Oh god, okay, can I just slap her on this side without her...
Yeah, you can move her. Oh, let me go ahead and
Yeah.
let you
Alright.
move here. Keep doing that. Yeah, you can drag her away from it.
Alright. I'll just go over to her and just like look at her bite, just, oh shit! Oh fuck! Alright, I'll pull out my rapier. I'll just... Whatever, I'll go towards Plesiosaur. I'll just look back at her. Wake up, you son of a bitch! There you go.
Just coughs up a bunch of blood. You can see just like that gaping wound kind of close up a little bit.
An excellent hit, but don't
Yes.
fight the dinosaur.
I'm not going to do that anymore.
Excellent. I guess I have to see if I hit first.
You do.
You did it.
Just kind of looks at you as you pull her away, like.
Fuck you, dinosaur!
Cinder, you're up. Millicent, they're on deck.
Okay.
Oh, I just realized I didn't roll initiative.
Oh.
That's why this is going
Whatever.
so weird. Well, I'll
This is it
re-roll it
now.
at the end of the round. My bad.
Okay. This is how we do this now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Question for you. Would flaming sphere hover over water or fall in it?
It would behave however you wished it would.
I would like it to hover over water.
Then it will.
My action is to hold a flaming sphere
Okay. Until you see.
until it arrives.
All right.
Actually, hold on, I forgot. Gritty realism. I don't want to burn that slot. My action is to hold a more boring spell. Yeah, I'll just hold a cantrip. And bonus summon the spirit like above the boat so he doesn't light it on fire and just have him plop on the deck. If I can do that.
Sorry, say again.
And for the bonus, summon the spirit, but just like in the air above the boat so he
Okay,
doesn't light it
yeah.
on fire and
Yeah,
then
that's
just
fine.
falls onto the deck.
Sure. Just kind of like splashes out of you, just kind of explodes in the sky, and then just lands on the deck. It looks ready to go. Millicent.
All right. I would like to rage.
Sure you would.
You hurt my friend. It's like rage on. And
See
attack.
Julia like, oh, we're friends.
Yeah.
Lots the time, Julia.
Okay. Bam.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't do that to my friend.
Yeah.
Oh wait, but divine fury.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Just kind of take a wild
Nice.
swing at its neck with your axe and just kind of get sprayed with a little bit of blood. Alright, now we will roll proper initiative. Oh, Celeste, you'll go and then we'll roll initiative.
What I've heard, Julia getting launched.
Yes.
All right.
She's fine.
Does she look fine?
No.
She looks okay.
Her wound is not as big.
You know, I'm just gonna do a little healing word on that.
Probably.
Yeah, just gonna, there.
Ow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
She
plus
looks
7.
much
Oh,
better
okay.
now.
And then I'll go ahead and hold a, sacred flame for when I see it again.
All right. Now we will roll a proper initiative here, so this might get a little screwy with your held action, but we'll see. Nope.
Gosh darn it! Not the boss.
This guy is gonna bite at the big scary barbarian.
Yes, come
Yeah.
at me.
He does
My
come at you.
friend. Ooh, yeah, he does. Good thing I rage.
Takes a little chunk out of your arm, but doesn't hurt you too bad.
Oh,
This
thank
guy
God.
splooshes up out of the water to take a bite at a tree. So you can
Hello,
activate
please
your
don't.
held.
Yep.
Well, it was a whopping firebolt. He's in melee, so oof.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh no.
Fails the dex
Man.
save, but you fail your firebolt. Nice little bit of this glowy radiance comes down on him as he goes to bite Cinder.
Hello, please do not.
Gnaws at your right leg there a little bit.
Ow.
Celeste, you're up. Rook, you're on deck.
Oh my god, I got a high initiative? What the hell?
Ish. Well, 15.
That's better than a 1.
That's
Better than my 2 over
True.
here.
Alright, I'll do some bing bong.
all
Really
right.
round
You
out
bing
the
that
cantrips.
bong. He fails
Yeah,
the
you
bing
do.
bong check.
Great.
Takes some bing bong damage. You see, it just kind of like ah. These things look pretty beefy.
Great.
Anything else?
That should do it.
All right, Rook.
Use my bonus action to do the steady aim to get
Okay.
advantage. Wow.
You hit that boy.
Stab. Oh boy.
You do stab him. It's he's hella scaly, so
Yeah.
you're able to just pierce through the outer layer of armor there.
Take that.
Yee-hoo. Cinder, you're up.
Hmm. I will. Fuffles. What a bonus action to cast should I think it is. Awesome. Action, I'm just gonna cure wounds myself because
All right.
it says wounded, but I'm half health off of one bite. These things suck.
Wow.
Yeah, they're nasty.
Bonus action, command spirit, and I'm just gonna have him like climb the mast and just sit up there and just with his little flame seeds.
All right. He just kind of like conjures his own blowgun out of fire and just.
Yeah. No.
And miss. Just kind of into the water, fizzles out. Julia is
It
going
is
to take the
very-
dodge action.
Yes. Good.
Millicent, you're up.
Oh, we'll attack it again. Shock is there. Oh, yeah. Take this and this.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
yeah. You do a lot of damage to it. You just kind of like. It doesn't matter, but. Whoa! What the hell was that noise?
That was exciting.
That was
Yay.
extremely loud from Lindsay's end. I don't know what it was, but it doesn't matter. But your axe says it does bludgeoning damage when it should be slashing damage.
Wow, that's weird. Let me change that real quick.
Yeah, like I said, not important, but
Bark axe.
You've just been broadsiding it.
Yeah.
yeah. I believe it should be slashing.
Okay.
I would think so.
I would
Unless
think
there's
so.
something special about her axe that makes it not.
No.
No.
The
Which
extra
admittedly,
damage.
I have seen it do bludgeoning, and I was like, oh, maybe that's the special thing you gave it.
The extra thing that she can do
No.
is bludgeoning damage, but the basic damage of the axe is slashing. Alright, anyway,
Yeah.
this dino, he gon' try to bite Rook this time, because he stabbed him,
no.
and he didn't like that. And you are able to sidestep out of the way of this enormous
Nice.
toothy maw that comes up. And then he's going to dive back under the water. You guys can take attacks of opportunity if you so desire.
I would love to. Okay.
Do I... Does that invoke sneak attack?
I don't know, so I'm going to say sure.
Okay.
I'll Google it really quick.
Okay.
Okay. I'll let you hit first. And let's see if this
I do hit him.
The answer is yes.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, yeah. I thought
Pretty
it was.
average on my dice.
Yeah, it's you do give him a stab.
Yeah.
Millicent does give him a slash.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah.
And he dives under the water.
Julia, watch out!
Ah! This guy, he's gonna bite Cinder again because it worked so well last time. Go for the other leg, and you are able to just kind of withstand that one. You have a little bit more stumpy parts on that leg, and just kind of like can't quite get its mouth around you.
Stop.
Celeste, you're up. Rook, you're on deck.
All right. I'll go ahead and do another bing bong. They're not really that wise.
They are unwise dinosaurs.
Yeah. Okay. I'd probably do it for right now. Actually, I will get up. If the flame spirit is floating above, I'll go ahead and move up next to Cinder.
Yeah, he's just kind of up on the mast.
Okay. Yeah.
He's kind of swinging like Jack Sparrow and throwing ineffectual fire. All right, Rook, you're up. Cinder, you're on deck.
I'll just come right here and just look at Julia. Lay down and hide.
All right, Cinder.
And I'll hold my action to stab it if it emerges next to me.
Okay.
I will be upset that this thing is in my face. I'll bonus action cast Shillelagh and action bonk, and the spirit will just dodge for this turn.
Okay. You bonked that boy.
I rolled above an 11.
You guys see he just. You guys see he just kind of holds that sort of bluish crystal that he has, and you see his. What are you attacking with? Just. You have a
I
quarterstaff?
have a quarterstaff that I use as a walking stick.
You see his walking stick, just kind of these thicker, tougher vines of wood just kind of start to pulsate out of it, and he just kind of goes for slaps it across the head. Julia will attempt to hide. It's not great. She just kind of crawls under one of the benches on the boat here.
Well, hopefully that's good enough.
Millicent.
Yeah. Just kind of stand over her to make sure she doesn't get hit. Comes at me, and I'll
I've got
just.
this side.
Yeah, that's true. You think to be on this side?
Oh no, I mean, yeah, maybe stay on that side in case it comes out and
That's
only
it.
has Julia to bite.
Yeah, that's why I'll just stand kind of like over her, protect her, and I'll just hold my action. If
Okay.
it comes up, then I'll hit it.
It comes up over here.
Damn it.
So you can pop your attack off, Rook.
Uh,
Oh!
Yeah.
Be gone!
That didn't work.
No.
Should be another
10,
4 damage.
4.
That's enough to kill it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, nice.
It does begin. It kind of comes up out of the water. It seems to be going directly for Julia, and you just sort of Jack Sparrow step in front of it and just slam your rapier right up through right through the roof of its mouth, and it kind of pops up out the back of its head, and you're just kind of left there with this plesiosaur head engulfing your entire arm.
Did you see that?
That is so cool.
And it sloughs off of your blade and slinks back into the water. This one is gonna... Let's see what it's gonna do. It'll go for a bite at Celeste.
Great.
And with that being the case, it is going to decide that it's not worth it and go back under the water. You're welcome to pop it if you want.
I'd love to.
Be gone. Hmm.
Oh my god.
Yeah, both missed.
Great job.
Well,
Good job. You two.
I rolled 1 attack above an 11 this whole combat.
Celeste?
I'll just hold another bing bong and wait for when it pops back up.
Okay. Rook.
I'll have my dart ready to throw at it, or stab if it comes close.
Okay. Cinder.
Hold cantrip Burton. Comes up next to me, I have to disadvantage it. Yeah, I'll still hold Firebolt and command Spirit with the bonus and have him hold his for
Alright.
all the good it does us.
Millicent.
I'll just hold my attack if it comes by us.
If this thing even comes
It,
back, I feel like it might
That's
just
why.
fuck off.
It seems
He's
like
like-
it's gonna just fuck off.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
She's ready. She's like,
What's it looking over there?
Not the
Fine.
same. We're fine overall. I don't care for what just happened, but
yeah. No. Are you okay? It's like looking down.
Yeah, I've been better, but
You survived the battle, Julia.
I help her up.
I really didn't, but thank you. Thank you for all of the healing, both of you.
No, you survived.
I hit it,
I've gone down many a time.
and then it tried to eat me.
Yes,
Yeah.
but it didn't.
That's true.
eh,
Okay. What are we doing? We keep rowing?
Onwards.
I can give some of us a little bit of healing if we need it.
Sorry, Julia.
I'm actually okay.
She actually looks fine, yeah.
Yeah, I'm fine now that I hear
I'm
this.
fine.
I'm pretty
Well,
good, so.
I'll get it back on it whenever we short rest, so
Oh,
Oh.
We're in
I
our-
guess you might as well.
I
yeah.
have 2 wounds.
Are you talking about your preserve life thing?
Yeah.
That would not have any effect on anyone.
Oh, because,
It's below half.
yeah, half the
Oh. Yeah, okay. Never mind.
Julia was the one who got the most seriously wounded in that fight, and then she got healed
Yeah.
twice, back up to her full HP, which is a
God.
fat 16. So
Oh, jeez.
she doesn't have a lot of health,
No. Oh.
but you guys
Excellent.
are able to continue on your journey. The rest of your day of travel is uneventful. You don't make it quite as far. You get about halfway to the next bend before everybody starts to get rather worn down. kind of pull
Julia,
off.
you do know that you're heading towards a life of this, right?
Yeah, I need to get better at it.
Yeah, you know it
Okay.
gets worse in the desert.
That's fine. It's exhilarating. It was just I don't want to start with dinosaurs next time.
There's really nothing good to start with.
No.
Still, I'll take. Oh, there goes Lindsay again.
Cool.
We're getting there.
Are you back yet? So you guys can pull ashore and go for another short rest here in the night.
Once again, begin the procedure.
Yep. Just roll for your perception.
And I'll give him guidance.
Yeah, it's not too hard to find some wood at this particular spot, so.
Wow. This is why the guidance helps, because when you only get one check for the whole night, it can be bad.
Yeah.
Pretty dark, pretty rainy. Can't really make too much out.
Real good, real good.
Lindsay
You get the
seems to be,
Eternals.
seems to be gone. Whoa, whoa! Everybody just
Oh.
sort of lived.
I'm
there.
sorry.
I just had a hiccup
I
there.
have.
Everybody just
I
went
have
and then came back.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. Oh God. I'm sorry. This is gonna be. I think this is gonna be like. That's the whole night.
Good, it's good.
It's fine. I expected me to be the problem, and you just took it from me, so we're good.
I know. I took
Somebody
over
was
that
gonna
role
be
for
the
you.
problem. One of the 4 time zones that we're in was going to end up being
Yeah.
the problem. So.
Yeah.
I'm surprised it's not Hotel Wi-Fi, but we work with what we got.
Your time will
Yeah.
come.
I would like to put out there that if at a certain point, I think I may want to suggest us actually going to the nearest city and maybe spending a week tending to ourselves and recovering some. Just depending on how things go.
I would say
That-
tentatively, if we get beset upon by more dinosaurs, then we should probably stop for a rest in St. Kazaya. But if we are able to
Yes.
press on without getting bothered by anything, we may probably make it to St. Endwinel. Rest there.
So far, I'm still good to go to St. Endwinel, but yes, if another attack.
What is a group
Is
of
very
dinosaurs
harmless.
called? Is it a pod? A gaggle?
A pain in the ass.
Ew. Yeah.
Yep.
Side.
Right.
How long was it? It was supposed to take us 6 days to reach St. Elwell, or
To
6
reach
days to reach
the
the
lake.
lake?
But
Like, it seemed to be on
thereafter-
time.
we will be going downriver instead of up.
So, like, 3 days?
Should be about 2 from the lake to St. Endwinel.
Oh.
Because
Okay.
here's the thing, we could rest on the boats. And
Assuming there are no
as
more
long as
dinosaurs, yes.
Cinder is just up, the current will just take us to where we need to go.
Maybe at that point, one of us could just rest in each boat and the other one can actually row. If need be,
Yeah.
of course.
Just to
Alright,
get through this stretch.
yes. I guess
Somebody can
either
roll
way,
a
I have
D8
enough.
for the end on the next day there.
Rest or
Russ's turn.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah!
Yeah,
Whoa.
it's not much better.
great.
Yay.
So I would say by the next night you're not bothered by any more dinosaurs or anything else. You do see a couple of odd woodland creatures, and noticeably no other boats that you can see. It's possible there are some that are going past you just far enough away that you can't see them, but this is the longest you've gone without seeing any other travelers. You guys make it to about here. You have another couple of days to the lake. If anybody wants to roll for the following day.
Sure.
Okay.
Back up at the
To
top.
the beginning.
Oh,
Ooh,
It's
man.
bad.
No.
It's
Not
bad.
looking great
The
for
wind is
us.
Tough
not in
time.
your favor.
There it is. Won't take us a
You
bit.
kind of make it to the next bend there. You wager hell or high water. The next day, you're probably going to make it to Lake Holteyla at least.
God.
When we're taking our rest or whatever, do we have like the do we like do the travel 8 hours, rest 8 hours, and sleep for 8 hour thing, or
You're kind of traveling for about 12.
okay? I just, all I'm getting at is, do I have time to forage during it?
Yeah, you could. You could.
Okay. I will attempt to forage some.
You can,
of just the basic rich healing potion.
You can
herbs.
have Cinder do your locate plants and do that, and I would say just basically make a survival check with advantage.
Cinder?
You want me to make it? I can.
Yes.
Plant.
Oh yeah.
I would say you get what are you looking for?
The lesser healing potion herbs.
I would say you get enough over the course of the days that you're doing this. You get enough to make 2.
Okay. Okay.
Somebody can roll for the next day here.
All right.
Go, Maddie.
Alright,
Yeah.
Finally.
So at about noon, you reach the edge of this enormous lake. And you guys just kind of are lingering past this little river mouth here. You kind of pull ashore for a bit. So do we want to try to go directly across the lake and hope that we can navigate, or do we want to try and follow the coast?
How long do you think it'll take us to cross the lake?
We would have to rest on its. We have wind that's going on ice direction, so we would probably be able to get there by around this time tomorrow. But we would have to rest in the middle of the lake.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
But if we were to try and go around the coast, it would add another several days.
Yeah.
I think we see what the wind is like tomorrow, and then
Yes.
go from there.
Okay.
Make use of it if it is beneficial. Try to cross as best we can, and if it is not beneficial, take the slow way so we don't drift off course.
I'd be
Fair
fine
enough.
with that.
You guys get an early rest. Rook, if you want to, you could make a potion during this time, since you have a good portion of the day.
I'll make the poison.
Okay.
Yeah, poison.
Oh, Millicent,
Mm-hmm.
I have made the poison.
okay,
Just be very careful with it.
okay.
You just
Oh.
it lasts for 1 minute.
So I just
You just
dip
dump it on the
dump
blade.
it. Okay. Oh, it's like.
Here you go.
Oh. Puts it in the bag gently. Yeah. Vial. Got my inventory.
You guys can do your evening's rituals. Do your perception check for me, Cinder. You guys are kind of just on the beach here. You do see, because it's around noonish, and while you're just kind of sitting and watching while Rook makes his potion, you do see far out on the lake. It's a very calm lake, despite the serious amount of weather that's going on around, and you can see off in the distance a number of basically just small specks moving across the surface. You wager it's probably other boats, but they are very, very far away. It's very difficult to tell.
I think this lake is deceptively large and deceptively deep.
Fantastic.
This sort of brings up something that I have always been confused about, that I don't think anybody has ever really known since the Ascension. Where is, like...
The water coming from?
All of it. The water cycle in general just does not make any sense up here at all anymore. It used to.
Fall down below and then...
I mean, it rains a lot.
We have...
Is it falling through?
We have rivers and lakes back home that also are constantly flowing, but we don't get this much rain.
How to find it?
Probably just all lattice magic things.
Yeah, I think at a certain point it's just easier to accept that it's the power of the lattice more than anything, because the science behind that would be too much for a migraine to deal with.
Probably true.
It is worth at least questioning how things work, because if they stop working the way you expect, it gets complicated.
You would be correct, but also many a person has asked that question and ended up slamming their head against a chalkboard.
Somebody can roll for the wind.
Do you want me to do it, or are we just going to continue in the order?
Oh, do it.
Oh, no.
No.
Oh.
We going ashore, baby.
It's yeah, it's not nice.
The boat life's not for us.
Ew.
We go ashore.
All right. We can move right along here. There's nothing that's gonna bother you in the lake, so I would say about 2.5 days more of this nonsense, you get to the other side of the river.
Alright, what was
So
the
if there's
save
any
DC for my poison?
It's 8 plus your intelligence plus proficiency. Any conversating that anybody wants to do during this time, you're welcome to.
What do we know of Saint Karzai? If apparently this forest is as bad as it sounds, why is there a city just plopped in it over there?
They have sort of this natural barrier all around. They're sort of in like a large crater
Crater. Interesting.
of the earth that's like sort of thrown up all around them, and there are no trees, and they generally have like a lot of windbreak, and so the weather is not quite so bad there, from what I hear.
Another place of worship there for the powers that be as well.
Yeah, a pretty new one.
It's called the Temple of the Powers.
On the nose. Interesting. Kind of like the Seltenbrock conversation of mastering the terrain, but different approach.
Yeah, I don't actually know what the nature of that sort of geological formation is, if it was done deliberately by somebody years ago through magic, or if it was sort of a natural thing, or combination of the two.
I don't know anything else either. I'm gonna head to this place through word of mouth.
I feel like it'd be one of the harder places to try to keep stock. I'd imagine they have to be a little bit self-sufficient between getting all the supplies from either the river or down south.
Forest can probably provide most of what they would need.
Sure. I mean, St. Antonio is downstream from them. It would, I mean, I guess going back upstream would be the hard part, obviously, but
Yeah.
Yeah, St. Antonella is something of a place of trade.
Because that's where the hoppers are, right?
That's why I'm hoping to find one.
It would seem there would have to be, otherwise there would be no way down to the whole other continent.
Sure, but there's not really much excuse for people to go that way.
Yeah, that's true.
yes.
There are lots of craftsmen and things there, from what I understand, so I'm hoping to find somebody who has excuse or cause to go to someplace like Amaran.
Perhaps I'll find more plats there as well then. But, if anything, I would like to spend a while there.
Yeah, I think we should
Rest
definitely
up.
rest up for a bit there. It will take me a few days probably to find somebody that has a hopper that they would be willing to take us on, because I can't fly one, and I don't think any of you can either.
Nope.
I mean,
We'll
I've
have to
been
find
on
somebody who has one and would be willing to fly us somewhere. So I will spend some time doing that.
We assume you are covering the cost for that as well.
Yes, don't worry.
Good.
You guys can keep making your way down the river now. So you can pretty much throw the sails out when the wind is favorable and take them down when it's not. But either way, you're clipping along at this point. The current is bringing you towards the mountain, which is again generally rather odd, because in most circumstances you would assume that the water is flowing down from the peaks of the mountain and thus the river would be flowing the other direction, but it seems to be there is a general elevation change that the lake is at the top of, and the river flows both directions away from it. So you're not certain what it will look like at the end of the river here. But nonetheless, your journey here is much quicker. And with your sort of alternating watch and row and sleep and all that jazz, make it in pretty good time to the end of the river there, about another 2 days. At one of the nights that you're kind of just sort of lazily floating down the river, Cinder, you do see up to the east, probably around when you're maybe here-ish, there is this sound in the treetops of what sounds like, it's not like something you've heard before, but it sounds like lots of feet moving around. And you see what looks like this white, perfectly white tree, until you kind of get closer to it and you realize that it's actually just covered in spider's web. And there are lots of these big spider boys just kind of crawling around down it. But you sort of just shudder at that and keep it to yourself and keep moving. You reach
Noted.
the southern tip of the river here, as night is coming on one of these days of your journey. And you can see that there are a number of docks jutting out from either side of the river as it narrows, coming up on this large set of stony, grassy mountains. They're of pretty decent height, and you can see there's almost sort of this horizontal wall of them that spans maybe 60 miles. Only a few of them are significantly tall and stretching kind of beyond where you can see as you're approaching from a distance, but it's pretty clear that they're sort of forming a rain shadow behind. And much of the rainfall seems to be letting up past them. As you guys kind of approach these docks, you see that there's not anybody near them, but there are just a number of similar canoes and sailboats just kind of pulled up ashore nearby. And you reckon that that's probably just the thing that you're supposed to do, is just haul it up and leave it there for somebody else if they need it. So you do that. And you can see that the river just kind of seems to snake its way into a cave amidst these base of these mountains.
This place makes even less sense to me.
I don't really know what's going on there. But we should be able to rest for tonight, and then maybe another 3 days and get this thing done by now.
Right.
We'll have to walk, but
That's fine.
we've been
Yeah.
sitting in a boat for a week and a half.
Yes. Walk would be welcome.
You don't see any more spooky spiders, but you kind of walk around the foothills here, and it gets easier and easier to navigate over the next couple of days as the cloud cover eventually lets up and leaves you once again with the sun and the moons above you. It's nice to see, and it's still brisk and kind of windy, but over the next few days here, as you're walking, the sun warms you up, and you all realize that it's been quite a while since you bathed. But eventually, you do make it to town, and you can see that it is not very much to look at. Not hugely populous, but probably you would wager maybe about 5,000 or so folks here. As you guys are kind of making your way there, Julia would have explained to you guys that it's pretty much the only place in the ladder that's not overseen by the tar stacks. It's kind of its own thing. It's a place where all the pretty much laborers and crafters live and chill out, because it's the only place in the ladder that's actually like got temperate weather most of the year round. Given that the southern two islands are pretty much covered in rain, and the other 4 or 5 are frozen tundra for most of the year. It's a place where people who want to train as apprentices in crafts and labor can go and live, and they every few years pretty much just elect themselves a mayor who just kind of handles trade and handles shipments of stuff to and from. I've heard there is a figure in town who was the recent mayor, somebody who traveled up from the depths a couple of years ago, actually. But he's a rather interesting fellow.
From the depths?
Hmm?
That's strange.
There are other
Yes.
people, I suppose, who live down there.
Most of them not able to come up, not allowed, as the case may be.
Yeah.
Perhaps somebody that could be interesting to talk to.
If we're going to spend some time here, sure.
See a lot of the houses and buildings and stuff here giving up lots of smoke and steam, and sounds of hustle and bustle and work as you guys kind of roll up to town here. So, assuming that you want to embark upon a long rest here, you guys will have a week of downtime to do what you please. And as you consider your options here, we'll go ahead and take a break.
Awesome.
Back in 10:15.
Yeah.
And we are back. So, you have arrived in Saint Endwinel, a rather sprawling clump of workshops and some a couple of what look like sawmills for these little copses of trees to the west, and number of seems like small market squares, a number of inns. Substantial little town here.
Blue collar, this city.
Basically. It doesn't take you long for Julia to find you a place to stay for the week, and she'll pay for your room and board.
Wow.
And you guys rest for your first evening there, and then kind of she just sort of goes incommunicado from the rest of you guys for a number of days as she goes and tries to track someone down who will who owns a hopper and will fly you across, as she tries to negotiate how much that is going to cost her. So in the meantime, you guys have a week in this nice little town here to do what you would like to do.
Blowgun. Find a blowgun.
Shopping time.
Shopping time.
Uh,
Locate the meat stall. Make sure I stock up before we leave.
Yeah, there is a
Not
small
today.
butcher. You can see there are a number of like small corrals of farm animals that some people have on the outskirts of town.
Mhm.
There is a butcher who will sell you some cuts. There's not anybody selling like dried meats or jerky,
Mm.
but you can get fresh meat.
I'll be
Okay.
here for a week. You can come down here every day.
Yeah.
Fresh meat
Gotta
every
stop-
day.
yeah,
What could be
fresh
better
meat every
than
day.
that?
Yeah, we're going on a hopper. When am I gonna get meat next? A while.
I think Rook was. Never mind.
That's it. Look for meat. Find a blowgun.
Final
Truck.
blowgun.
All right,
Those
yeah,
blow
you can
darts,
find
man.
you can find a it takes you a couple of days, but you do find this sort of run-down looking shop that purports to sell exotic weaponry. And you go in and you see there is this it's basically just a number of tables haphazardly around the room, and there is just this purple scaled kobold sitting on a stool, seems to have one eye. And the room is sort of filled with like a thin haze of very pungent smoke. Just kind of looks up at you. Welcome.
Hello.
You look about-
Exotic weaponry.
Oh yeah, we got exotic weaponry here. All kinds.
Yes, we're looking for blowguns.
I got blowguns. Long ones, short ones, thick ones.
What is the difference between them? Like
Some are long, some are short,
Combat-wise.
some are thick.
combat wise.
But like a long one, go a longer distance but require more accuracy, and a short one goes shorter but it's more forceful. And a fat one, you can put fatter things in it, I guess. I don't know. That one's more style choice than anything else.
I might have to go with that last one. That's what I have in mind.
All right. He just kind of like saunters over to you, like, grabs the front of your shirt, and just like pulls you. Come down here.
Yes. Okay.
Alright,
I just
know.
kneel.
He just kind of like grabs your face and just kind of like, okay. Just like grabs your mouth.
I'm just like, what's going on here?
Okay.
What are
Like-
you doing?
Goes off for a second.
I feel slightly violated.
Comes back with this
Yeah.
reed, basically, but it's got like little strips of leather bound around it. Here, try that one.
Yeah, like
I just want to see if it fits your mouth.
like fit in my mouth.
Okay, that's pretty good. Yeah, all right, here. Yeah, can you try that? Holds out a needle. No, other way.
Oh.
There you go.
Put it in.
All right, try to hit that target. You see, there is a poorly done drawing of a different kobold on the wall.
guess it's in that. Do I just like blow into it real hard?
Pretty much.
Yeah. Got it.
Make an attack roll with disadvantage, or not with disadvantage, just no proficiency.
Okay.
You hit the target. You're just gonna.
Whoa.
That's pretty good.
Ah, thank you.
There, you want it?
But that depends. How much?
Oh, 10 gold.
10 gold.
I'll throw in 8 needles.
Make it 15 needles.
I don't have. I have 8.
Oh. Let's go.
What do you mean? Where did the rest go? That's what I had.
Uh,
I don't know what to
I
tell you,
got
man.
8 gold.
Make a persuasion check. I'm 9.
Alright, 9.
Okay.
Here you go.
Good negotiation. Yeah. We did
Thanks. Yeah. Alright, thank you.
it. Do you want anything? No. Okay.
I'm good.
Like a slingshot or something? Okay. That's fine.
No, we don't need that.
Okay, see you around. Pay friend.
Uh-huh, yeah, thank you. Leave.
Don't even see what other exotic goods he has. Other
Oh.
weapons.
You already felt too violated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You buy a blowgun.
Yeah.
Mission
Yeah.
accomplished.
Yeah.
From this
You
guy.
know, make sure that we don't lose the needles
No.
when we practice.
Yeah.
Great, well, mission accomplished. The meat stalls.
Meat store. It's like,
Alright.
There is a butcher. There's just this
yeah.
rotund elf woman.
Elf?
It's like pay a gold.
elves
How much
can
can
be
I get
fat.
for
Oh no, just a sentence rotund elf woman. I just got caught off guard.
I know.
Rotund is the verb I.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
She's got basically like the female equivalent of like a comb over. Like it's not great.
no.
Her hair is all just like
Oh.
sweat plastered to the sides of her head, and
Oh.
she's she seems to know her way around a dead cow.
You picked every possible worst option for this description. Everything that could make her
I know.
less acceptable, you took.
But Millie's gonna go up anyway. What
Hello?
am gonna get for a gold?
A gold?
Kind of.
What kind of
I
meat
want
are you
meat.
looking for?
Annie.
Big cow, chicken, dog?
Should I go to Rook? What should I get?
He's more interested in quantity.
Well, got a whole bunch of chicken feet.
I don't know if I want that. That looks weird.
Maybe
Hey, I mean, say what you will about
One
St.
degree
Enwinil, but a
up.
gold can get you a lot of chicken feet.
maybe 1
How-
degree up from that.
Okay?
What if I put in another gold?
Figure? What's 1 degree up from a chicken foot?
Okay.
How much for just like a shitload of drumsticks? How about that?
What's the shitload?
2 golds worth.
2 golds worth. Okay, I can do, just fills a sack.
Yes,
It's just raw chicken legs.
that's fine. She's gonna just. I'll take it. It's like give the 2 gold.
Okay. You guys
Thank you.
are new.
Yeah. How could you
Yes,
tell?
yes.
Seen you before.
I think we just look a little odd.
No, I mean, well, I don't know how to
Yes.
say anything politely at this point, so yes.
Alright, thank you for this.
Walks away
Okay.
with my chicken.
Bye.
You walk away with your sack of raw chicken.
I'll go get. I'll go get later. We have a week. We have
Yeah.
a couple days. I got dinner.
Cinder would try to find the mayor.
Okay. There is sort of a central house in the middle of town, and that seems to be where the mayor probably lives. You
At
kind
some
of
time,
awkwardly
I'll
post up out there until it seems like a socially appropriate time.
feels accurate for Cinder.
You see, you kind of go in, there's just like a couple of people milling about and just sort of sitting in a circle of chairs and awkwardly chatting with each other, and you can see one of these individuals is sitting on a larger chair and is a very large man, you guess. Scaly and green and with a big old shell on him. You see this very large turtle man. His shell is kind of this dark, like walnut brown, and it seems to kind of crest up and like almost like a very high collar, just kind of up behind the back of his head and kind of curve out away from him, with all of these sort of pointed triangular protrusions on the back of it. He's just kind of holding his court here. You see, he's got like a strange feature that you would not expect to see on a reptilian individual, but he's got this sort of like tufty blackish gray beard. He's kind of looking around at all the people, and he's kind of like, everybody just kind of like stops as you walk in. He's kind of like, well, hell, you're new.
Yes. Is this a bad time?
No, y'all fuck off. I want to talk to this guy. All these people are just like, yeah, just kind of shuffle past you, kind of looking as they leave. Holds out this massive hand. This guy is taller than you, which is rare, which makes him like close to 8 feet tall.
Lord.
Large turtle man just holds out this big, like, gnarled clawed hand.
Try to
Ubo.
shake. Well met. They call me Cinder lately.
Nice. What brings you to St. Inverness, Cinder, lately?
Traveling south, I guess. Apparently this is a place we can get something called a hopper.
Oh yeah, you can, there'll be a couple of folks here. You got money?
A traveling companion does.
Well, then you'll find what you need eventually. Money makes these parts go around, so.
Seems like money makes the skybound lands
Oh yeah,
work.
I learned that quick.
It's kind of why I came. I heard you weren't from around here either.
No, I come from, waterland down there. Nice and moist.
Where were you from originally?
I wasn't really a name for it, but I had a small clan of folk like me to the west. There's a smattering of islands, sort of below what they call Astor, somewhere south of there, a little bit, and then below where I hail from.
Interesting. Trying to remember. We didn't go over there when I was with the pirate boys, right? Yeah.
No, it's inside the perimeter.
Okay. Surprised you were able to come back up then.
What do you mean back up?
Ah, so like me. Arrive at Rise for the first time and nobody
yeah.
cared enough to tell you no.
Yeah, I was born down there, actually. I just was looking for a change of scenery. And boy, did I find one.
Did you find what you wanted here?
Yeah, I think so. I was tired of doing the same thing every day down there, so now I came up here and I do the same thing every day up here. But it's a different thing than what it was down there, so.
I suppose, yes.
I come up here and spent a couple of time in God's Hold, and then I was sick of those folks. I came over here and heard they needed somebody to leader of men, and I sort of stepped up and I said, hey, I'll give it a try, and everybody was like, that guy seems interesting. And now here I am. I've been here a couple of years.
Do you intend to stay up here?
I mean, I'll go where the wind takes me, I guess. I don't really think too much past tomorrow.
Finding that to be surprisingly common.
Where do you be coming from?
Forest Basin?
Oh, hey, way eastward. My people got some stories about that place.
Interesting. Most hadn't even heard of it.
Yeah, well, my guys are a little, we've been around for a while.
That would help.
They say we have access to information down there that other people don't have access to. I guess I don't really know.
Like what?
There's some Triton folk down there as well. You know, fishy boys. And they live blub blub. And I guess they got like records and stuff.
Interesting.
We sort of do trade, parlay, that kind of thing. They get fish, a lot of fish. We eat a lot of fish. It's a nice little ecosystem.
Do you know how far back those records might go?
No. I never made privy to that much information. They just said things that they found that they thought were cool. I have one particular friend who would tell me things, little bits of trivia that they knew, but they're pretty secretive for the most part.
Well, if my search up here doesn't give me the answers I need, I suppose I could seek them out.
Yeah. Don't know a lot of people up here would be willing to go down there, but you're interested.
I'll go back eventually. I don't need people. The ones I'm traveling with seem interesting and are willing to travel.
You with that young
quite far, but...
that young lady from the Zeltenbach, right? She came in earlier looking for somebody to have a hopper.
Yes, she would be the traveling companion with the money.
Yeah. She got money. Well, luckily for her, there's not a lot of that here, so she'll find somebody probably who, make a deal with.
Hopefully so.
Yeah.
Hopefully not too quickly. I think we were hoping to spend some time and rest here. We've traveled quite far already.
Well, there are worse places to do that, I'll tell you that. Where are you heading to with the hopper?
Continuing south.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe you'd be going up to the monastery up there.
Up where?
Up on the mountain.
What is the monastery study?
There's like, more like an abbey, I guess, but they mostly, what was it that they did up there again? I think it was, elemental type stuff.
Oh.
Lots of monks, doing their monk thing.
Oh, like actual, no shit, class monks. I was thinking another powers that be place, but monk.
Yeah.
Well, I would be interested, but I don't. If that's what people use hoppers for more often, I guess, is going up there.
Well, it's quicker than walking.
But money seems to not be too much of an issue for my friend, but it is not unlimited.
Yeah, I had to learn about that stuff real quick too when I came up here. We don't really do that back home.
Nor did we. I tend to carry A couple of pieces in case I need something, and that's
Yeah,
about
it's
it.
a good habit to get into. What about this little
How
fellow?
long-
What's his name?
Points
Is he
into the
pointing at
fire? Yeah.
Just let him come out.
Yeah, what's up? You can call me Zarksfly.
Yeah, all right. Yeah. Got a whole thing going on here.
Yeah, something like that.
Not many people that I encounter up here think to look and ask about that.
I'm very
Most are
perceptive.
too busy being concerned about the fact that I'm a walking tree.
Most people are pretty concerned about this whole situation too, so you learn to look past it.
Fair enough.
You a big tree,
How
I'm a
long have
big
you
turtle.
been up here?
About 5 years.
Interesting. Nice.
Well, if you do want to head back to where I come from, anytime, any day, you can give him tell him Ubo sent you and get the royal treatment.
You left on good terms with your people?
Yeah. I wasn't running away. I was just, I was bored.
My understanding, the depths can be that way, and if you get so, your options are go up or go to Spindrift, and frankly, I think you chose the better of the two.
Yeah, fuck that place.
Yeah, indeed.
Yucky,
I
stinky
made-
poo-poo place.
I made the wrong choice at first.
Well, we learn when you get to be as old and wizened as I am, you kind of start to go with the flow a little better.
Yeah, people seem to assume that based on what I look like, I must be similarly wizened and of an ancient race, but not so much.
Yeah, I mean, guess it's the wood.
I guess so. You've earned your wisdom.
I don't have no wisdom. I'm just wizened.
Well, one in the
I think
same.
that's a fancy word for wrinkly.
Fair enough. Well, I won't take up too much of your time, but
Nah, please, you're the only interesting person I've seen all week.
then you'll like my friends.
Your tone of voice says a different thing than your words say. Cinder
They
lately.
are certainly interesting.
Ah, okay. Well, maybe I'll do a little walkabout and see some of these new folk. Sometime, not today.
So,
I've had enough social
Okay.
interaction for one day, I think. Maybe tomorrow.
feels right. I'll be back sometime.
Cool
I
beans.
appreciate this. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you, little fireboy.
Yes. Whatever.
I don't know.
Just kind of situates himself and walks off to a door.
Leave.
There you go. There's Ubo.
Oh, Turtle Man.
I like Ubo.
Yeah,
Me too.
even
Did Ubo exist before 10 seconds ago?
Technically, yes.
Wonderful.
I knew his name and that he was a turtle.
Now he's a crotchety old one who everybody immediately liked.
Yes. And so did you. What's anybody else doing?
I'd like to look for a job.
Oh,
All right.
Just take a walk around.
Okay. Go ahead and just do like an investigation check for me.
Yeah. Nice. 13.
All right, you stroll around the town looking for the sorts of places that you would normally go for such things. You don't really find anyone offering much work.
Okay.
You do see another individual with with 3 earrings and they seem to be this male dwarf, probably early middle age, pretty short, stocky, kind of dark beard, dark hair, dark eyes. He just kind of nods in your general direction as you're walking by.
One by to him, I guess.
Just kind of.
Hello.
Hello. But I've not really many other friends in town.
No, not really. It doesn't seem like it.
This is sort of the kind of place that I might do. I don't really know what kind of work I could do here, to be honest. But
It's like a pretty dry spot.
If you're looking for the lay of the land, I can help you out in that regard, I suppose.
Sure, why not?
There are a couple of interesting things happening around here that I've sussed out. Things that someone of your kind of looks at your garb, someone of your skills might make use of.
Mm-hmm.
Place is sort of managed by a number of guilds. Other than the guy at the top, there are other ones sort of doing their own, controlling their own markets. And some of the bosses of those guilds have kind of entangled themselves in some dealings. Some of them tied with Godshold, some of them tied with our friends.
Right.
So, I don't know, if there was some pies you wanted to go about dipping fingers into, I suppose you could start there.
I would be interested.
Right, well, write down a name for you.
Excellent. Do you imagine some sort of family meeting of theirs will be held sometime this week?
Of those folks,
Or I guess any
the Tosdags
priests
don't really have too much to do here, but there is a character that just to be clear, which church are you looking to try and
Not very particular.
right. Just look for Henry Caswell. He is in charge of the Tanners.
Alright. Thank you.
Kind of walks off.
We're gonna look for Henry Tanner.
Henry Caswell.
Henry Caswell.
He
Who's that Tanner?
is a Tanner. Tanner's Guild.
Hey Tanner. Yeah.
Okay, you spend a couple of days just kind of poking around and digging your nose into some business, and you do find Henry Caswell. Probably late 30s, human man, pretty simply dressed, but he's definitely got a couple of nice pieces of jewelry that definitely don't fit him, or at least fit the aesthetic that he's kind of going for here. You just kind of do an investigation check on him.
Well,
You do see him as you're just kind of. It's pretty easy to tail someone in this town because it seems like most of the folks that are going around doing their own thing, minding their own business, keeping their heads down, and working on whatever it is they're working on. And you can see this guy have a pretty obvious clandestine meeting with someone at like an outdoor sort of eatery. And you just kind of sit there, munching on a chicken leg, watching him he sits down with this other individual who is wearing the pretty obvious sort of white robes of the church in God's Hold, and just kind of muttering with this individual for time before they kind of nod and wander off, and he just kind of seems to have accepted a package from this individual.
Just continue to tail him.
Okay. Yeah, so over the course, you probably spend like 3 days, and it seems like this guy is receiving a lot of information on some of the other guild members and guild leaders of trade in this town. And it seems like he is using that to his advantage.
Okay.
As he seems to be making a tidy profit. And interestingly enough, he seems to kind of own the market for pretty much all of the people who are producing like leatherworked goods in town.
Do I know where he deposits stuff?
He seems to pretty much work out of his rather nice house.
Oh, good. Okay. Do I somewhat know his, like,
You kind of get like
schedule that he
his
does
pattern.
then?
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
spend some time, and I would say over the course of like the first half of this week, you kind of get a mark on this guy. He's pretty self-assured and pretty overconfident, so it's not especially difficult to find this guy's habits. Seems to go to the same, walk around most of the tanner shops and kind of have conversations with them, collect money from them. And then he spends some time drinking in the evening. He has a particular brothel that he visits from a couple of times.
Alright. I'll bring it to his fucking house when he's not there then.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and do just do a stealth check and a sleight of hand check for me.
Alright.
Jeez.
Oh, Jesus
Ew.
Christ.
Well, the average there is fine. Luckily for you, this guy, again, very cocky. I would say you're just in general, the two things that you could try to do here, you could look at the documents that he has and maybe fuck with them, or you could just try to steal some of his money.
I'll steal his money and just leave a little note that just says, like, hey, I know the guy that you're meeting with and what your business is here. So if you don't want it to be known, just let this one be.
Okay. Yeah, from what you can tell, you can gather kind of looking over his documents, it seems like basically he is paying a certain amount of money to this church representative, who is then kind of strong-arming other people attempting to start up businesses in his field, and kind of running them out of town with vague threats. So he is receiving information on potentially dangerous people, potentially problematic people, from this church representative, and in turn paying this guy to use the power that he has to get rid of competition.
Okay.
But you can take some of his money and leave him a note.
Yeah, do that.
Leave anything else?
Yeah, I'll leave my little piece behind.
Okay. Do that. I'll say... We get 100 gold.
Oh yeah.
Jesus.
Woohoo!
That's pretty much Rook's week.
Crime!
Rook does crimes.
Oh,
Celeste, what are you doing?
so glad we can pan to me now. Love that dichotomy. After the past week, I think Celeste would have wanted to go see if Julia wanted. Well, when Julia wasn't out trying to find a hopper, if she wanted any other help with training.
She will certainly accept whatever you're willing to offer.
Julia, were you focusing on like basically a like rook style, or were you amenable to like maybe a shield or something?
I don't really know how to use any of that, but pretty much all that I can use fairly confidently is a rapier, but I'm certainly down to try something else.
Well, it's just trying to think of ways if we do get caught in something, such as that dinosaur that attacked, that was thoroughly unpleasant. If you...
I would rather avoid getting maimed by further dinosaur, yeah.
Yeah, I would imagine. I would agree, that's a wise idea. Well, either we continue and I can just spar with you, with me with my spear, and you just train with your rapier, or if you want to try a shield.
Let's focus on the rapier for now, but we'll see how far that gets.
Yeah, let's just go with that. Now
You guys
just
can
hold
find
train.
like a sort of training ground that's around town. Just go ahead and do I don't know, just roll a d20.
Okay,
I'm not really sure what kind of check that'd be.
excellent.
Yeah, you do a little bit of sparring. She's definitely getting a little bit quicker on her feet and a little bit surer in her strikes, which is good. You're pretty much just playing defensively and trying to encourage her to find the openings that you're leaving for her, but you're not really sure how necessarily to do that. You haven't been in a lot of combat situations until relatively recently, and you are kind of realizing that oh, maybe this is something that I need to get a little bit better at too. But the two of you have some nice bonding while you figure that shit out.
Huh?
Anything else that anybody wants to do in town here?
Nope. Just exploring, tend to my meat, make people try it.
You work on your
If anybody's-
marinades and your
Yeah.
dry rubs and
Yeah, sure. Make it flavorful.
Come back to the inn, like
yeah, you guys
like,
do. You guys just see
hello.
Rook just like after that first day. Rook is just gone.
MIA.
going for a walk.
Okay.
Yeah, he just like fucks off, and then he just shows back up towards the end of the week.
I would continue spending time with Ubo and try to make a potion or two if I could find ingredients, because I can't buy any. But if I could find some over the course of a week.
Yeah, I would say you could just roll a survival check with your locate plants. There's not some in the immediate vicinity, but there are some probably within 5 miles of the town. So
Yeah.
I'd say you get enough
Okay.
over the course of the week. You can make one potion.
Alright, that's fine.
Ubo is relatively busy, but he's happy to chat with you whenever he is free. He gets lunch with you a few days, or rather, you watch him eat. He
Talk about the depths and hear about where he's from and his people, because I don't
He-
know much about the rest.
He remains disarmingly likable. He explains to you that he comes from a relatively sizable clan of other turtle folks. They probably have about 100. They come from an island in the depths to the west. They have been around for quite some time. He himself is pretty old, because in my game, turtles live a long time because it makes more sense, I think, than for them to die at 30 or whatever they do in
Yeah.
Forgotten Realms. So he's
Yeah.
he's a few hundred years old. His clan elders are even older than that, and he has known in his lifetime a couple of people who were around shortly after the Ascension. He talks a little bit about that and how the before times, before the Ascension, apparently the seas became even more violent than they were before, than they are now. He mentions that there are other aquatic races living down there. There are sea elves, there are tritons. He's not certain if those are the same thing. Weird little fishmen. and also nasty people like Marrow. But they largely keep to themselves and live pretty much beneath the surface. He suspects that there are probably some undersea caverns in some of those mountainous areas of the depths. And from what he knows, the Tritons are the ones that are the most likely to communicate with others, and they infrequently communicated with his clan, and would speak cryptically of far-off places, like places in the Southlands and places to the east, like where you come from. They never really said much other than that there was rumored to be a massive forest that was as deep as the ocean, somewhere to the east. And that strange creatures abounded there, and anybody who tried to travel there would likely get dead, but nobody bothered to. But he was never certain where they got that information from, but he assumes that they have some kind of source of info in their hallowed halls. But he is happy to chat.
That's all. Mostly just downtime. Make
Yep.
a friend and make a potion and be done.
Think about what spells you want to prepare.
And
Oh my
prepare
God.
spells. Oh my god.
Ooh,
Yeah, those of
God.
you who are prep casters, think about that.
Oh, not me. Yeah. Yeah. I just go
I would
bottom
say,
whoever.
Rook, if you wanted to try and make a potion during this period of time, you could as well with some of your non-crimes time.
I'll make one.
You guys hear there is some upheaval in town as some apparently well-to-do merchant leader got robbed.
It's like, oh no. Anyway.
Yeah, nobody really gives that much of a shit about this guy.
No.
Seems like he's not a very well-liked figure.
Seems like it.
But apart from that, you guys get your long rest.
Yay!
Yay!
Hello everyone. How was everyone's week?
Like, pull out my bucket of chicken, like, wanna try
Like-
some?
Sure, why not?
Did you cook
Listen's
that
Eat 'em
week
yourself.
was expected.
Did you add any seasonings?
A bit.
11
Like,
herbs and spices.
some, yeah. There's like some that are like not, and then some that's like over seasoned. I feel.
You have some
Her primary seasoning is fire.
some salty drumsticks.
Yeah.
Millicent, just roll a d20 for me.
Okay.
Roll a flavor
11
check.
herbs and minerals.
Oh, it was 20! Damn it!
You guys do your
Oh.
best to be polite, but this is the worst chicken you have ever eaten. One of them tastes like she
Excellent
seasoned it with
qualities.
dirt.
She just like dropped that one at one point
Yep.
and was like, oh.
They are all overcooked.
Damn it.
Very chewy.
Better than the alternative.
Yep, nobody gets salmonella.
Yeah.
Medium rare chicken.
Allegra chicken.
Oh my god.
Millicent cooks her Allegra chicken for you guys.
Oh jeez.
And Julia returns. I found somebody that will take us south.
Oh, thank
Oh.
goodness.
She's got this pale green-skinned half-orc woman with her who seems tall and pretty thin. Yes, I have a hopper that I can use to take you south for a nominal fee. Yes, we've discussed this. Then I'm
Oh,
happy
well.
to oblige.
Far south are we talking?
To Tanagra, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That's where we go.
Oh, excellent.
Oh, okay.
I am
The whole
for
way.
leaving tomorrow if you guys are good
Oh,
with
yeah.
that.
Mm-hmm.
You assume this woman has probably spent a lot of time in a loud blacksmithing shop because she seems to be talking at an uncomfortable volume.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, it's like, why are you yelling?
What? Hello. I am
Uh,
Gensung.
Lucas.
I'm Millicent.
Celeste.
And Cinder just doesn't say anything.
That's Cinder over there. He doesn't
Okay.
talk much.
Right. Well then.
How
What?
long do we estimate the
Strange
travel?
yelling lady.
We'll take it in 2 legs. Depending on the wind, we'll fly south to the tip of the northeastern part of Shavirik, up north of the Spitfire Mountains. That should take anywhere between 8 and 12 hours. The next day we will go to Tanagra, which should be 3 to 6, depending on how bad the volcano is and how bad the wind is.
Have you done this much?
Not much, but I have done it.
Okay.
Yeah. Have you flown in a hopper before?
No.
I have.
Very cool. You will almost not fit. It's not very big, but you are friendly with each other, yes?
Yes.
Good.
Yep. All
Yeah.
friendly.
You will be better friends tomorrow.
Oh. Friendships? More friendships?
No,
Yes,
you're just going to be very close to each other for a long time
Oh.
because
Oh.
it's
Yeah.
small vessel.
Oh. Oh.
Excellent.
Hey,
Okay.
I will see you here tomorrow at dawn.
All right.
All right.
And it wanders off. Yes, that was the only one I could find that would take us.
As long
Just
as we make,
for. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I'll say, as long as we make sure that we've all, well, maybe with the exclusion of Cinder, bathed before we get on the boat
Oh,
tomorrow.
I have bathed every day we've been here.
As of high.
I do too.
Just like rubs dirt on herself.
That's some dirt.
It's like a lizard.
Chinchilla.
She bathes like a
Full
chinchilla.
Like I'm from
Oh,
the
what?
desert.
Chinmilla scent.
There was a
Julia,
stretch there.
Just for our own reference, for when you're not paying for us, how much are we talking for this ride?
I had to pay her about 75 gold for the whole thing,
Really? Okay.
which was actually a pretty good deal.
Oh, is it usually worse?
Well, I don't really know, but the only other person I found who had one was asking for 300,
Oh, God.
My.
which
Okay,
I
yes.
have technically, but I don't want. No,
No.
no, thank you.
Let's not.
That's fair.
I was talking to the mayor. Apparently, often the hoppers are used to go up the mountain.
Yes, I have heard that there is monastery of the Way of the Four Elements up there.
Sounds cool.
Ooh.
If any of you are interested in becoming a monk. They also have a library, I think most of the monasteries do. There are 2 down in the southern, the unnamed island as well.
Monasteries.
Yes, and I believe one at Shavirik as well. On Fifth Island, there is the Fifth Isle Winery, which also works as the monastery for the Way of the Drunken Master.
Oh.
Oh,
And to
yeah.
the east, the Abbey of Sin, I believe they do astral self things. Rather weird bunch of them, but
Certainly sounds interesting, though.
I would not mind adding it to the list of things to see.
well, once we are, you're close to being free of me, so
The elements and the astral sound interesting. I, for obvious reasons, could care less about the ones that make drink.
well, they make drink, but they also have a rather unique form of study of the monastic tradition. They use the effect of the wine to sort of create an unpredictable and challenging to combat stance. It's interesting.
Well,
I've heard.
I think if I were to be investigating these places, it would mostly be academic, and I'm not sure what the library of a winery would hold of interest.
Yeah, probably a lot of recipes, but who knows?
Who knows?
Well, I'm certainly interested in visiting the other two.
Well, there's also
Just kind of because.
the Tabernacle of the Sun, right above the God's Mouth Abyss there in Shavirik, where they do the sort of holy monk study.
God's Mouth Abyss.
It's that big
Oh.
chasm.
Yes.
It's just
That
quite a
is
name.
Certainly. Right, well.
You have options. You have plenty of things that you could look into. Once you
I suppose
rid
we
of
should
me.
discuss once we are in Tanogra. And see what our options are as of flight.
Yeah, you say once we are rid of you as if it will be an aspect of convenience. However, your funding to travel these islands has been kind of critical in doing so.
Well, remember, you will also be getting paid when you arrive.
Right.
Right. Tomorrow then.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
Then let's,
super fun flight.
Let's drink to the journey tonight, then, yeah?
Yes, let's drink. Like, what?
Yeah.
Just a little bit for you, but
Cinder, just pretend.
He goes through the motions of the toast without you actually having to tell him. He has clearly had to pretend before.
I must say, I very much appreciate your companionship on this journey. The defense notwithstanding, it has just been nice to have interesting new people around. Spent my life surrounded by my family, pretty much. Like them.
Well, it's definitely good to get out and around and
Mhm.
learn more about the different people of these areas, and also the weird things that come out of these areas, like dinosaurs.
Yeah. That part was not as fun.
No,
I did not like
no,
getting
it's-
bitten. I do
No.
not want to be dinosaur lunch.
I suggest never going to the depths. At least for Julie.
Good to know.
Been a fun journey so far.
Glad to hear it. Alright, well, let's rest up and prepare for whatever this will be tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, rest at your inn here. Following morning, you see, whatever the hell her name was, Jensung returns. Are you ready to go?
Ready as we can be.
Yeah.
Cool. Come to my house. I have made the preparations.
Okay.
You guys follow her, and you see out in the back of this like yard that she has, there is this very odd looking, to most of you who haven't seen them before, essentially a wooden thin constructed like gondola suspended beneath this large canvas sack. It's essentially like a very primitive hot air balloon with what looks like this magical flame kind of produced underneath it, and a number of propellers and sort of flaps and things that are used to ostensibly steer it.
How does this look compared to the one I was on?
A little
Like a
dingier.
nicer- Dingier? Okay. Like, okay. Not. Okay.
This is what we're thinking.
Yeah.
Right.
See, as says Jensung.
How many times or how long have you been flying it?
How long? A couple of years.
Okay. Okay. Well,
Welcome
there's
aboard!
experience.
Okay.
Oh wait, hang on a second. Should just kind of. None of you guys has a cat, right?
No.
No.
That's all right. I got one. Goes in to her house and comes back with this like really scraggly looking tabby that's like mangy and just kind of like throws it on board. It just lands in Cinder's lap.
Is this necessary?
Oh yeah, bad luck to fly without a cat.
Okay.
Is it?
There's a balloon down there. All right.
There's a balloon. It's up there.
Up there, right? Yes. Should we tie ourselves together? Just
I mean,
in
you
case
could,
of
I guess.
something?
It won't matter.
Okay.
If something bad
Supposed to
happens,
go
we're all
we go
going down.
Yep, there it is.
Yeah. All right.
If it makes you feel better, then go right ahead.
How often do bad things happen to hoppers?
Well, you usually don't hear about it.
Because they disappear?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm pretty sure they die, but
Great.
we'll be fine. I'm an expert.
I'll just start tying a rope around myself.
This cat just
Go
kind
over,
of
just like
just like curls up in Cinder's lap.
I'll just like go over to Millicent and just. Do you mind if I
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, thank you.
As you guys are kind of getting situated, you just feel it lurch as this flame above you just kind of. Like, all right, off we go.
Okay.
You guys are crammed in here like sardines. But you
Great.
take to the sky and move at a rather impressive pace here. There is definitely lots of magic going on here as it seems like these various propellers and things are moving of their own accords. This flame that's keeping it afloat burns pretty consistently. And you all just kind of lurch, and this is a rather uncomfortable experience for all of you. Kind of just that feeling of taking off in a plane, but times 100, as you see the ground very quickly falling away beneath you. It's unlike anything that you guys have experienced, other than you, Millicent, in your one voyage that you have taken on one of these things. Yeah, but this one is a little bit more rickety and a little bit spookier. Somebody can roll for the wind.
Ugh. Maybe Maddie should do this one. Maddie has had a lot.
I'm not doing it.
All right, I'll do it. I'll do it.
Why
Yeah.
is control wind 5th level?
So better.
You guys get some favorable wind.
Oh yeah.
So you guys are lucky the wind is going right in our direction, so we're gonna make landfall probably like around here. I imagine we'll get there pretty quick.
Can't wait.
And you
She's
guys,
taking us all the way to Tanagra?
she's taking you to
Pick
you will,
stop.
yeah.
Yeah.
But you're gonna have to stop for a rest.
Today we're going. Yeah.
And so you fly. For a time. He just kind of like yells back at you after a couple hours. It's like, "Hi, how you doing back there?"
It's claustrophobic, but
Okay.
okay.
Yeah, it's a little tight. We should be getting there probably around 6 p.m., which will be nice. So we'll have clear skies for the rest of the journey. Grid lines about a mile beneath us. Solid distance. Should be beneath the dragons, so that's good.
What?
Well, yeah, there's dragons. They can kind of be a problem. And air elementals, pirates. What can you do?
Pray, apparently.
Yeah, that's good. That's probably a good idea.
Captain.
Oh, good.
you uncomfortably fly. Everybody can go ahead and make a perception check for me.
This does not fill me with joy.
It's not spark joy.
Do
Right.
you see dragons? Because I
Whoa.
probably don't.
Rook has his eyes closed.
Do I see
Rook
a
is just like,
dragon?
Like, tightly gripping onto Millicent. Just...
You guys
Yeah,
have been flying
no,
for
look.
about 4 hours. Let me make a perception check. Millicent, after about 4
Yeah.
hours, you see kind of ahead and below you this sort of blackish shape.
Hmm.
And it seems to be getting a little bit bigger.
Mm-mm.
Just like look over, just like, that's interesting.
It.
There's something over there. I kind of point in the direction. I see the shape.
We are in the sky. There should be nothing over there.
It sounded like
Well,
anything
I
being
see
interesting
something.
up here. I don't like that.
That's
No.
But
But I see it.
as
Yeah,
you guys
man.
see getting larger at a rapid pace, what looks like another hopper, but
Oh.
kind of a run-down looking one, even worse than the one that you're in, but moving at a pretty rapid clip. It's got the balloon of it is black, and it's also got these like other smaller ones that seem to just be kind of bulging out of various points of the main balloon here. And a number of these sort of ramshackle propellers just sort of jury-rigged onto the back of it.
We're in the sky, but I recognize that anyway.
Yep.
I know exactly what they're about.
Yeah. We got the cat. We
What
should
happens-
be fine.
What happens if a balloon lights on fire?
Well, I've never seen it happen.
Noted.
We can't really make any evasive maneuvers. They're faster than us.
So, what? Are they just planning to ram us? Like, what?
No, they'll probably come up next to us.
I mean, I can
And
do something that's
bored?
more of a.
I mean, they might talk.
Oh, okay.
They usually do that before they rob me.
Oh, I mean,
What?
Well, I'll just pull out my
Or-
axe and maybe they just go
Or-
away.
maybe we just throw some spells at them before they even get up to us.
No,
And
no, let's talk first.
Pretty
Let's
good.
talk.
Why would we want to talk to the sky pirates?
Talking.
Maybe
Maybe I can convince them to
okay.
fuck off.
Or I could just hit their balloon with a warning shot and they can decide that they don't want to go down in a ball of flames.
But then they might shoot back. And
Sometimes
I don't
they do
feel so
that.
good. I don't feel good about our chances there.
Well, we do have the cat.
Let's look threatening.
Grrr.
Not you, Captain. You just fly.
Okay.
Show off axe.
You guys see this
Take out my
other
weapon.
vessel does
Yeah.
get closer.
I'll hold up a sacred flame.
And you see this guy, very much like the main protagonist in Treasure Planet, just like standing on the edge of it, like holding on to the rope, just kind of like looking up. It's just like holding
How
out
far
a rope
away are
here. At this point, they're probably like 80 feet away.
Can I firebolt the rope?
Yeah, you could try.
Wait, do we really want to? I like as much as I love
You
fighting.
you kind of thread the needle on it, just kind of. You just hear this. Whoa! Peace, please, friends. You guys see this motley crew just kind of pull up, maybe 30 feet away from you, but kind of on the same height. And you see this guy who's a human man, kind of swarthy, but with like curly red hair. Probably like maybe late 30s. He's got this like old ass looking vest on. Behind him there is this dwarf man with like a bald head, and you can see he's just got knives and swords and like 3 axes on his back. There is this figure just kind of like hopping around behind them, like between benches and among the ropes. It looks like a little tiny red kobold. And there's also just this elf woman just kind of sitting, just staring at you guys. And you also see that in her lap is this Siamese cat. She's just gently stroking its head. You just kind of see this guy holding onto the ropes, holding out a rapier towards you. Don't face the wrath of the fool's banquet!
I pick up my rapier and I put on my mask.
Whoa! Ah, mighty
Hello there.
pulchritudinous of you.
Friend, I don't think you want to mess with us this day.
Well,
I'm in a little bit of a hurry.
unfortunately, that's for us to be doing of the deciding.
Is
What?
that so?
Yeah, indubitably.
Uh-huh.
What
Please,
does that mean?
handeth over thy valuablizings. Money. Is still like 30
No.
feet away from you. Just like,
Oh, Cinder, could you just like light a little bit of fire in your hand or something?
what
I'll
ho!
just I'll just have the spirit come out and just like
Okay.
hold him.
Behold,
Yeah.
yon tree. It moves.
It can also burn down your entire ship, so I
I'm
suggest
beginning
that
to
maybe
have
you-
realizations of that. Yes. You just see this dwarf behind him, just like, I could be a lumberjack. No, not necessary quite yet, Hordlam. Maybe we can have a conversate. Perhaps.
I'd rather we didn't.
What is thy destination, yon birdman? You guys see Rook has this beaked mask.
That we've seen before.
Yeah.
The Abbey of Sin.
What? Nobody's been there
Abbey
in
of
months.
Sin.
Nobody has been visiting that place in many months.
Well, it's getting visitors.
Why?
Because we fucking feel like it.
Oh,
We're
well,
crazy.
well, unfortunately for you, that is not one of the protected resident areas of visitation, so we will commence with the burglarizing.
Are you protected right now? Do you feel protected?
I feel so protected. What I'm
Pick up
saying
my
is
bow instead.
there are
I
certain
just kind of aim it.
there are certain destinations where we can't attack you if you're going there, is what I'm theorizing. Or is that the right word?
I don't think so, boss.
But you... I'll, like... Not yelling, of course, just talk over to Rook. Would a guiding bolt help?
Perhaps. Let me see if I could aim this right. Is he still just kind of like in
Yeah.
the pose?
Yeah.
Can I just like shoot his arm that's supporting him that he's
can
holding
try.
on to? Okay.
For the record, I have nothing against burning pirates just for the sake of them being pirates. I'm happy to end this conversation whenever you see fit.
Yeah, you can hit him in the arm and roll some damage.
Oh.
Ah!
Aw.
I am wounded! You just see this kobold just like
Oh
hop
my-
up next to him. He's just like, you shot him!
That's a pretty good one, right?
That was a good one, yeah, that was good.
Yeah, yeah.
You just see this silent elf woman behind. Just
Yo, Jared, I don't think we can handle these guys.
no, I have them right where I am wanting them. Can somebody get the first aid kit? I bleed profusely.
What was your crew's name again?
The Fool's Banquet. Because if you try to eat us, you're stupid. I don't know.
Captain?
This guy's weird.
I don't really know
Can you
what's
get
going
us-
on.
Captain, can you get us
Wait.
right behind that ship?
We're trying to get to Tanagra. What? I thought you said you were going to the Abbey of Sin.
I lied.
Why would you lie to me, Jared Stetler, your friend and companion?
Because you are trying to rob us.
We were just trying
Yeah.
to relieve you of unnecessary valuablizes.
At this point, Celeste would start preparing a guiding bolt and just
No,
make
no,
a big show of it.
We got off on the wrong feet. Both of them.
You're right.
Yes, you
You're
did.
right.
All
what
8 of
valuables
you.
do you have?
We have nothing. Hordlam has like a ton of weapons, but He's not going to be handing them over to you, I don't think. No.
No. I try to take my scimitars. You've all got names. I'll eat you.
He's not gonna eat you. Stop threatening that. It's weird. I suffer.
Do you think that perhaps we can go our separate ways?
Yes, I am thinking that very much.
Oh, good.
We are very sorry to have troubled with you. Believe you me, it was a mistaking. Now I am sore, and we are poor.
I'm just gonna say this right now. We're gonna come back this way at a certain point.
We will stay far, far away from you all, because you have shot me in mine arm. And it is ow.
Alright.
Yeah, you fucking nailed him.
I sure did.
Whose side are you on, Hax? Do you want me to throw you overboard?
Fucking try it, bitch.
Yeah, okay. Maybe I won't. I'm sorry. We're gonna fly this way now. Please don't shoot us anymore.
I'll think about it.
Boss, you gotta stop doing this.
You're not my dad. Oh, wait! Just kinda...
If that's what passes for pirates
That
up
was
here.
the weirdest fucking thing that has ever happened to me. And I got bit by a dinosaur last week.
Yeah, that guy was irritating. I was kind of getting upset. He just wouldn't go away.
You know, I'd rather take annoying and irritating rather than competent.
Yes.
If we have
Yes,
to deal
as
with
would I.
pirates, the incompetent kind are the preferable.
Okay.
Yeah,
What?
I'm going to presume you're not going to explain the
Let's-
meaning of the mask. You're
Let's just keep
No.
going.
just.
Is that,
It looks intimidating.
It kind of does. It's pretty cool.
If you're afraid of birds, I guess.
I thought it was intimidating. That guy was intimidated.
That's true. He seemed to be.
I think he was more
Well, 2 of
intimidated
us-
by being shot.
Yeah,
Well,
by being shot and 2 people holding fire.
Whatever works, right?
I'll take what I can get.
Also, for the record, if they harass us again on the return trip, I will burn that balloon.
Oh yes, I was planning on us immediately firing upon them.
That
if
makes
they
sense, yeah.
returned. Yes.
Alright, well, anyway.
Well, that was strange. Moving swiftly onward.
Rushavik!
You continue. You make good time, thanks to the wind. And you kind of set down, you can see, you're approaching, you can see the volcano in the distance. Putting out smoke and burning red and glowing in the distance. And you set down on the very northern edge of these sort of sand dunes, as there's just sand kind of gently flowing off, and you just head inland a couple miles and set down. And Jensung just kind of all right, this is probably a spot we can stop, have a rest.
Okay.
Tomorrow morning to Nagra.
Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody should stay up and watch, but not me. I'm gonna sleep now. Good night.
Okay.
Well, I guess Sendo will stay up and watch it. I don't know why.
The usual.
And kind of set up your camp.
I suppose that perhaps we could just ask them to take us back as well, right? As soon as we drop off Julia, just
Pay them to return with the money that Julia gives us.
assuming that we're going that way.
I have
Which is
two.
not
I have 2 mountain ranges that I want to go to, and we'll be very close to one of them. And I would rather not come all the way back to Shaburik.
I don't think that half of the group is feeling so comfortable about it right now.
We can stay by Spitfire Mountains.
Okay.
I'm okay with that one. I just kind of want to avoid everywhere else. Mainly the Spirelands, Tempest Mountains. You know, I don't need to run into my family. I'm trying to prove to them I'm independent.
Yes, of course.
You're so independent. You chopped a dinosaur's
Yeah.
head off. That's the mark of
Thank
independence.
you.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
it is.
definitely approved by your parents. Uh-huh.
hmm
It's cool every time.
And my parents don't approve of what I'm doing either, so. You guys get your rest. Whoever wants to can do their perception check.
No.
I'll try to perceive.
I'll do it with advantage, assuming somebody helps me for at
Yeah,
least part of the
Julie.
night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would also give you guidance.
There we go.
Okay, yeah, let me roll the stealth check.
Oh.
Good.
Well, a 25 still works.
No.
You guys get your rest in the sand dunes. It's still pretty chilly out, given the time of year. You guys are kind of in the midst of this group of rolling dunes and hills. And in the dark, but still illuminated by starlight, near midnight, Cinder, you see just kind of silhouetted against the starlight, two figures just kind of crest over a sand dune, perhaps half a mile south of you, while the rest of the gang is just kind of dozing around the embers of the fire that you lit to stay warm. And they just kind of seem to be pointing weapons at you, and it looks like, for a little bit, it looks like figures on horseback, until you kind of squint and get a closer look, and you see that, no, those aren't horses. They have, like, curving tails and a lot of legs, and they're not riding them. They're like big scorpion centaurs. And there seem to be a number of them just kind of looking down at your fire. They look like this.
Oh, ha, ha, ha.
Oh no.
And they just kind of stand there in a group of 3 or 4 of them. They seem to be having a hushed conversation amongst themselves. And then they just kind of scuttle back down the way they came.
If they like stand and like points, I would rise and just like hold out a hand. And
As
just-
they're just kind of standing, one of them you see just kind of, and then the one next to it just kind of like, and then
and just go back to sitting.
and they just kind of,
Hello, I see you. We mean you no harm.
They just kind of slink away back down,
Made contact.
and that's it.
Good.
Great.
I'm sure we will run into them again.
That's impossible.
You better get on that hopper.
The next morning, you do see Jensung is getting ready to go. She's just got like a little like flask of like soup. She's just like,
We can make it all the way to Tanagra today.
oh yeah, easy peasy.
Good. I suggest we fly soon.
Let's go.
Bye.
Creatures of the desert were watching us last night.
Not surprising. There's a lot of those bad things. There's a lot of bad things in general.
Giant thing with many legs, big tail. I don't.
Have you ever ran into
Scorpion?
those?
Just whatever it is. I can't imagine it being good, considering there were many of them conversing and pointing to us, which implies more intelligent than the Onkegs and bigger. So, no.
Yeah, I don't
And
want to
they
do
had
that.
weapons as well. Also.
Definitely.
Just all of the reasons to not be in that
Let's go.
situation.
Yeah, time to go.
Hold on to Charles. Hands you this mangy cat.
Just hand it to Celeste.
But I.
You're my cat lady.
And you
I'm
putter
allergic.
southward. You see, she kind of veers westward out from the coast, away from this enormous volcano that's constantly seems active, and you can indeed see these thick lava flows glowing and flowing down off the edge of the island, and just slowly dripping into the ocean far below.
Ooh.
I would like everybody to make a perception check.
Mm.
She does skirt pretty close to the volcano.
Little
Little close for comfort. She's giving it a berth, but are still a little too close for comfort. And Celeste, gazing into the sort of center of the spout of this volcano, you swear for an instant you see something perched on the edge, gazing at you. And you blink and it's no longer there.
Yep.
The rest of the journey is blissfully uneventful. There is signs of activity of gridliners traveling across between the islands beneath you to the east. Hoppers to and fro, some going beneath the lattice, it looks like. Some of them up higher than you. But none of them bother you. It seems that now that you're inside the territory, you're okay. And towards sundown, you find yourselves finally approaching this enormous stone and brick wall that seems to sever this half of the continent from the rest of the deserts beyond. It's very, very tall. And at the base of it, and sort of in between it and the coast, there is this, what looks like an enormous military complex, which you assume is likely Tanagra.
There it is.
Thank God.
There it is. And we'll stop there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we need it.
Cinder now knows what he wants out of the Skybound lands. He wants to buy a hopper.
Mm.
They are very cool.
When you describe people going down below the lattice lines, he's like, I'm not bound to fly in straight lines. I can go wherever. I want one of these.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
And we can
technical
be fine.
difficulties aside, a little bit of a shorter game, but good time. Good time.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll see what lies in wait for you guys in Tanagra.
We'll see what fresh new challenges await next week, both in and out of game.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks for coming by, everyone who did.
Yeah.
We'll see you sometime next week, hopefully on Wednesday. Hopefully at a decent hour. Time will tell.
We'll see.
All right. Later, taters.
Goodbye.
Night.
Bye-bye.